Okay, so shall we begin? Are you all ready? So, very good evening, all of you. And today we are going to complete this retirement benefits except PF and ASAF. Okay, all the other parts which are remaining that we are going to complete. Okay, so just a moment. Hello. Yes. Okay, so we completed with gratuity, pension, leave salary in our earlier session. Okay, and today we are going to complete retrenchment compensation and VRS compensation, right? Then after that we'll start with perquisites. Please pay attention that if I talk about retrenchment compensation, okay, so what is the meaning of retrenchment? First of all, you'll have to understand. Have you heard about this term, retrenchment? Or you are hearing it for the first time? First time. So when few employees, the employer does not require them, employer wants to do cost cutting. Okay, see, I have many employees now, I don't want these many employees with me. So few of the employees will be told that pack your bags and go home, you are not required anymore. So this employer can do for multiple reasons. He wants to reduce the cost, or to replace those number of employees, he might have brought some machines in the company, or it can be a fact that the business of the company is not doing good. The company is running into losses, so the company is going bankrupt, company is closing down, amalgamation is happening, some new company is taking over the business of the existing company, and that new company is saying that we'll take all your assets, liabilities, few employees, but we'll not take other employees. So these are the few reasons because of which the employees in a good number can be eliminated from their employment. And this phenomenon is known as what? Retrenchment. Understanding? So whenever retrenchment takes place in India, there is a law. Because due to retrenchment, no, there will be a problem to the employees because they are going to lose their job. Okay. So whenever these many number of employees, see, if one employee was there, two employees were there, then there is no problem. But now the government will have to take care. Government will have to intervene because now it is a matter of the future of many employees together, because many employees are thrown out. So there is a law in India which compels the employer to compensate those employees who are getting retrenched. Because if such law is not made, then these employees will ultimately suffer. Understanding? Whatever the employer would want, the employer would like, he would be doing that. See, you have all the rights to do your business. You have all the rights to cut your cost. Okay. If you want to close down your business, close. But if you have taken the responsibility of these many people who are completely relying on you for their future, okay, who have been working with you since so many years, now they don't have any other, options. They have spent so many years in your company. Now where they will go? You were the only source of income for them. And that source of income is also snatched because you are, removing them. Then you should be responsible for their future. So pay them at least a small amount of compensation so that they can take care of their family. They can find out something on their own. Getting my point? So that giving the compensation to such employees who are getting retrenched is made sure because of a law in India. And that law, the name of that law is Industrial Disputes Act 1947. Because of this law, the retrenchment, the employees who are getting retrenched, they usually get what? Compensation from their employers. Okay. So if you are one of such employees who has got retrenched, and as per the Industrial Disputes Act, if you are getting that compensation, retrenchment compensation, so even that is treated as your salary. That becomes your salary. How that becomes your salary? Because it is a profit in lieu of salary. And by the way, if you are aware about the definition of salary, 17 subsection 1, the term salary includes wages, annuity pension, gratuity. Do you remember point number 4? Fees, commission, perquisite, profit in lieu of salary is also salary. And this amount which is coming to you as a compensation is nothing but profit in lieu of salary. Because you are going to lose the salary for future. If you are getting retrenched, will you be employed in future? No. So you are going to lose that salary. So against that salary which you are going to lose in future, you are being compensated. So this compensation is nothing but the profit which is given in lieu of your salary, which you are about to receive. But you will not receive because you are getting retrenched. Getting my point? So even if it is profit in lieu of salary, even if it is considered as your salary income, but this will be exempt. This will be exempt. So what I want to tell you over here, that see, if one employer is there, he is retrenching few of his employees and you are one of those employees. Okay. So you will be given a retrenchment compensation. What is this retrenchment compensation? What is retrenchment? As I explained, it is a compensation given by the employer to the employees, removed typically due to economic reasons like company restructuring, mergers, cost cutting, etc. Okay. Because of these reasons, retrenchment takes place. Whenever the employer is having some, financial crunches, no, he does not want you to keep. He does not want you to stay because he wants to reduce the cost crunches are going on, and cost crunches can happen because of these multiple reasons. Okay, company restructuring is happening, mergers are happening, cost cutting is happening. Due to that, if you are being removed, you are retrenched, then a compensation is paid. That compensation is known as retrenchment compensation, and usually it is given as per the Industrial Disputes Act 1947. Okay, so now whatever compensation you are getting, it is your profit in lieu of salary. Why you are calling it profit in lieu of salary? Because against the salary which you are going to lose in future, okay, you are getting this amount known as compensation. So it is a profit which happens to you right now in lieu of your future salaries. Getting my point? So you are going to get the exemption for this retrenchment compensation. See, your entire retrenchment compensation will not be taxed. You will be given some exemption out of that. So exemption is available under section 1010B. Which section? 1010B. And that section says that how much retrenchment compensation will be exempt. The actual amount which you are receiving, or maximum limit is 5 lakhs. And the amount as per Industrial Disputes Act. Because see, the retrenchment is given as per the requirement of Industrial Disputes Act. Then Industrial Disputes Act will tell you that how much retrenchment compensation should be given. So we will go and check the Industrial Disputes Act, that how much that law tells the employer to give the employee as what? Retrenchment compensation. So when I went in that act, I checked that retrenchment compensation should be this much for those employees who are earning their wages on daily basis. Retrenchment compensation will be this much for those employees who are earning their salaries on a weekly basis. Wages on weekly basis, because there is a possibility that the employees who are earning on daily wages, or the employees who are earning on weekly basis, even they can be retrenched, no? So how much retrenchment compensation they should get? Those employees who are earning salary on daily basis, those employees who are earning salary on weekly basis, even that is given in Industrial Disputes Act. But we are not supposed to worry about those figures. We are supposed to worry about those employees who are getting retrenched on a monthly basis. Who are getting salary on what basis? Monthly basis. So we want to see that how much limit for those employees is given under the Industrial Disputes Act. Getting my point? This is the amount which is relevant for you to know. Because in the examination questions, you will be always given the monthly figures. So the employee who is earning monthly salary will only be retrenched and given retrenchment compensation. So we are supposed to go in the law, Industrial Disputes Act, and we are supposed to see that how much retrenchment compensation that law says that employee should get who is earning his salary on monthly basis. Getting my point? So this is the limit. I guess this limit you might have seen somewhere. 15 by 26 into last drawn salary per month into number of years of service. Have you seen this limit? We saw this same limit was given by Payment of Gratuity Act. But here there is a small difference. There they said under the POGA, they were saying that 15 by 26 means 15 days salary based on the last drawn salary, based on the last salary. Here they are saying under the Industrial Disputes Act, they are saying that 15 days salary should be given. But that salary, 15 days salary will be calculated on the basis of last 3 months average salary. Last 3 months average salary. But the salary will be same. It will be basic and DA, which was there in POGA. Yes or no? So here also you will take what? Basic and what? DA. DA in terms also you will take, DA not in terms also you will take, but this two figures, basic and DA, you are supposed to take for 3 months immediately prior to month of retrenchment. So forget about the month of retrenchment. 3 months prior to the month of retrenchment. Whatever was your basic for these 3 months, take that. Whatever was your DA, in terms, not in terms, both. Okay, take that. You will get 3 months salary. Divided by 3, you will get average salary. So 15 days salary will be calculated based on this average salary. And while calculating 15 days salary, this average salary is not given for 30 days. It is given for 26 days. Because there are 4 Sundays. Eliminate 4 Sundays. So per month amount divided by 26, you will get per day amount. Multiplied by 15, you will get 15 days salary. And that 15 days salary you are supposed to get for every year of your service. Even for the fraction of the year of service, you will get this amount if that fraction was more than 6 months. Do you remember that? We did the same thing in POGA also. So average salary, you are going to take basic plus DA of last 3 months, divide by 3, you will get average. And years of service, total number of years of service you have given to your employer prior to your retrenchment. So it can be 19 years, 2 months. How many years you will take? 19 years. Ignore 2 months. It could be 19 years, 6 months. Ignore 6 months. Take 19 years only. Because 6 months, fraction of the year of service, which is 6 months or less, will be ignored. If the fraction of the year of service is more than 6 months, then full fraction, full year will be taken. So if 19 years and 8 months are there, then take the 20th year also. Now the retrenchment compensation will be available for 20 years. Getting my point? So this is not a limit which is given in Income Tax Act. This is a limit which we are bringing from Industrial Disputes Act. And as per Industrial Disputes Act, this much should be the retrenchment compensation given to those employees who are earning their salaries on monthly basis. Got it? Either this amount which your Industrial Disputes Act says, or maximum 5 lakhs, or the actual amount which you are receiving. Whichever is lower will be the amount of exemption. Got it, everyone? Sure? This is exempt, and after taking exemption, whatever retrenchment compensation will remain, that will be taxable. Now they are saying that if the retrenchment compensation is given as per the scheme approved by the government. See, sometimes the government approves a scheme, and in that scheme also the employer will give that how much retrenchment compensation he is supposed to give. He is willing to give to his employees. So whatever compensation the employer is writing in that scheme, which he is submitting to the government, which the government approves also, that retrenchment compensation will be fully exempt. Now when this scheme will be made, okay, no, scheme will be made. See, who will make this scheme? Employer will make this scheme. Because see, whenever a big company is there, that company is, that company is closing down, liquidation happening. Or a big company is there merger is happening, restructuring is happening. So in the event, in such events, what happens? There are many stakeholders. What did I say? There are many stakeholders whose stakes get affected. Like there will be investors of the company who will be affected by this decision of the company. There will be creditors of the company who will be affected by this decision of the company. You are closing down your company, bro. You are getting your company liquidated, or you are getting your company merged with some other company. You have to think about us also, because we have invested in your company. We are investors. You have to think about us. We are creditors. We have given you credits. You have to think about us. We are your lenders. We have given you money as a loan. And you have to think about us also. We are your employees. Hello? Because many stakeholders are involved in a particular company. So the stakes of all these stakeholders will be affected if the company is going to take such kind of decision. Getting my point? So the company cannot take this decision without the approval of the government. So the company will have to properly make a scheme of liquidation, scheme of amalgamation. And that scheme the company will have to, submit to the government. And in that scheme, the company will write that how that amalgamation will take place, how the liquidation will take place. Okay. And in the event of such liquidation, in the event of such amalgamation, these are the stakeholders whose stakes will be affected, how their stakes will be, satisfied. Everything is given in that scheme. Few employees will be, they will lose their job. Few employees will be retrenched. So they will be given this much compensation. Lenders, they will lose their this much amount of money, but they have agreed to get 80% of their money back. So these kind of things are usually written in that scheme. Now, if that scheme is submitted to the government and government checks that scheme, that okay, whatever this scheme says is genuine. There is no undue hardship happening to any particular stakeholders. Stakeholders are getting satisfied properly. According to us, this much is okay. How the company is saying that he is going to pay the lenders. Okay, company is saying that he is going to pay 80% of the borrowings. Okay, no problem. And are they agreeing? Okay, no problem. Oh, company is saying that 100 employees will be removed. And to those 100 employees, 5 lakhs rupees retrenchment compensation will be given. 10 lakh rupees retrenchment compensation will be given. Okay, it is written in the scheme. According to us, now if the government gets satisfied with that scheme, that whatever the employer is promising through that scheme, the employer is going to achieve that thing. The employer is going to settle the claims like that in a way in which it is written in the scheme. Then the government will approve that scheme. And after the scheme is approved, whatever is written in that scheme, according to that only the employer will have to settle the claims. Getting my point? Now in that scheme, employees were also stakeholders who are losing their jobs. So in that scheme only it was written that these employees will lose their jobs, and to them the company will give this much compensation. So now the compensation is given by the employer, retrenchment compensation only. But is it given as per the scheme which is approved by the central government? Yes. Now there is no need to do A, B, C, whichever is lower. Full compensation will be exempt only, because it is given as per the scheme approved by the central government. Getting my point? No, this is not articles of association. This is something different. Kaushik. See, I'll not be able to hear you. Because when I'm taking the lectures, no, my mic is attached with the computer. Okay. So I cannot detach it. I will have to detach it to hear your voice. So whatever doubt you are having, you can type that doubt. Articles of association is different. No, AOA is different, man. Come on, where are you taking the discussion? Company is closing down, or company is getting amalgamated. Few of the stakeholders are there, like creditor is there, lenders are there, investors are there, employees are there. They have some stakes in the company. So their stakes will be affected, no, by this decision of the company. So the company will make a scheme. That's it. Don't drag this discussion to AOA, MOA. That is absolutely different thing. Okay? Got it? Now, see, if the retrenchment compensation is given as per the scheme approved by the government, then that retrenchment compensation will be fully exempt. No need to do ABC, whichever is lower. Got it? Okay. Now, if there is a single employee, now I'm not talking about multiple employees thrown out together. I'm talking about only one employee, only one employee. Okay. If I have only one employee and that employee is thrown out, his employment contract terminated, or his employment contract, the terms of the employment contract are modified. As a result of that, such employee will, will incur some loss. Why? Because if you are terminated, now you will not be able to work. Your salary was coming through this employment contract only, which is terminated. Now no need. Go sit at home. Thrown out of the company. Only one person. Because of his misbehavior, because of the fact that the employer does not want this particular employee only. Getting it or not? Only one employee. And that employee is terminated, or maybe his employment contract was saying that he is going to get an increment of 25% in his salary every year. But that term is getting modified and employer is saying no, not 25%. Every year you will get an increment of only 10%. So the employee will say, no, you should have told me earlier at the time of joining only. Why did you put a condition that 25% will be increased? If you wanted to give only 10% increment, then why did you write 25% earlier? And now if you have promised 25%, which is as per the employment contract only, and now you are making it 10%, you are modifying my contract, I am going to lose my remaining 15% salary in the future. Getting my point? Compensate. If you are terminating, I am ready to work for you. You don't want my services. You are terminating me, no? This is the only source of income which I am having. You are terminating without any problems with me. You should compensate me. So your employment contract might also have such kind of clauses where on termination or modification of that contract, if the employee suffers any loss, so to compensate that loss in his salary, a compensation might be given to the employee. So will the employee incur losses? Yes. Will the employee incur losses? Yes. Why? Because his employment contract terminated. Because his employment contract modified. And as a result of that, whatever salary which he was supposed to get because of this contract in the future, will he get it now? No. So to compensate for that loss in his future salary, he is given a compensation right now as per the employment contract. Yes or no? Even this compensation is profit in lieu of salary. But my dear friends, this is not retrenchment compensation. Getting my point? This is not retrenchment compensation. So you cannot take any exemption for this. This compensation, which is a profit in lieu of salary, will be fully taxable in the hands of employee under the head salary, because coming from the employer. This same point, this same point is again going to come to you when you will be doing what? IFOS chapter. In the IFOS chapter, same point is there which says that this compensation will be taxable under the head IFOS. Now here they are saying that this compensation will be treated as profit in lieu of salary, will be taxable under the head salary. But the same compensation you will see there in the IFOS head. There they are saying the same type of compensation received by the employee will be taxable under IFOS. So what you are going to do? Under which head you are going to charge? Salary or IFOS? Or both the heads you will charge? Definitely you are not going to charge under both the heads. One income, will you pay tax twice? Under the head salary as well as IFOS? No. You are going to pay tax only once. Either under the head salary or under the head IFOS. So when it will come under salary head? When it will come under house property? When it will come under other sources head? If this compensation on termination or modification of the employment contract is received by the employee from the employer, then it is profit in lieu of salary will come here. But sometimes what happens when the termination happens or the contract is modified, no, at that time, whatever compensation is coming, no, that compensation, the employer gives that compensation indirectly through someone else. So you are my employee, okay? I have terminated your contract. So if I give you compensation, no, that is profit in lieu of salary, taxable under the head salary. But what if I tell my other sister concern to give you that salary? Are you the employee of that concern? No. So you are still getting compensation for termination or modification of your employment contract. But is that compensation coming directly from the employer now? No. Employer is making some arrangements. As a result of that, the compensation is coming indirectly through someone else. Then in that case, it cannot be taxed under salary head. So don't worry, it will be taxed under the head IFRS. Yes or no? So don't worry, the same point I will discuss with IFRS. That time I will connect that point here. Okay, everyone. Now retrenchment compensation is over. We are going to study VRS compensation. VRS. What is the full form of VRS? Voluntary Retirement Scheme. See, now under this scheme, what happens? A compensation is given by the employer to the employee as per the voluntary retirement scheme, which is prepared by the employer according to the guidelines prescribed in IT rules. But first of all, why voluntary retirement scheme? Okay, see, there are many employees in my organization who are working, but I don't require these many employees anymore, because at the time when business in my business, I used to I used to take the work by manual means. That time, this much manpower was required. But now, computers have been installed, machines have been installed. Now, these many employees are not required. They are coming just because they are employed. But practically speaking, they are of no use to the company as of now, because their work is already taken care of by some good systems already in place now. Like new machines are there, computers have come. So basically, you are a redundant person only, redundant employee. You are of no practical use to the company right now. But still, the company cannot tell you to go away. Why? Because it is a matter of goodwill for the company. The company is very old, 50 years old, 80 years, 100 years old company. And if this company will kick out these employees, the goodwill of the company will be affected. Share prices of the company will crash, because the public will think, the investors will think that, see, this company must be having some losses. This company is not doing good. Hence, the company is removing the employees. And the employees who will be removed, those employees will also speak bad about the company, even though the company is good. Even though the company is having profits, still this negative sentiment will go in the market. So instead of telling you to go away, let me request you, if you want, you can go away. Either to tell you go away, you are not required. Instead of that, I can say, please, if you want, go away. Both the things are same only. I am conveying the same message. But one is very harsh. Go away, retrenchment. We don't want your services. Go away. So you'll go. But it will be a very bad impression of me in your eyes also, in the eyes of, others also. It will affect my goodwill. But if I say, please, we are giving you an option to take retirement prior to your actual retirement age. If you are willing to go away, go, na. Even you know that you are worthless in the company. You are not practically doing anything. Okay. Sitting on our head and becoming our employee is not serving any purpose to you also. You are wasting your prime years of your life getting stuck to us, and that way even our cost of employees is also increasing. No, See, handling you for another 10 years, if 10 more years are remaining for your actual retirement, will be a huge cost to the company, because every year we'll have to give you increments. Every year we'll have to increase your benefits also. Even though you are not working, even though you are not of any practical use to the company, still you will be sitting on our head, increasing our cost. So please, we are giving you option. You can leave. So you will say, why would I leave? If I can work for 10 years and earn salary, why would I leave? So the company will say, don't worry, whatever salary you are going to lose for these 10 years, no, we are going to give that entire 10 years salary right now only, in the form of what? VRS compensation. Take this amount, no. 1 rupee in future is not better. 1 rupee right now is better. Present value of money. The salary which you are going to get in future. Have you seen the future? No. God knows what will happen to you tomorrow. Even you don't know that. So instead of, getting that salary in future, at the current rate only, we'll calculate your salary for 10 years and we are going to give that salary to you upfront right now only. No, take that salary and go. Take the salary for 10 years and go. You will get a very decent amount in your hands. Very handsome payment in your hands. Just imagine if your monthly salary is 50,000 only right now. 50,000. 50,000 into 12 will be 6 lakh rupees you are earning salary right now. And for these 10 years, you would have at least earned 6 lakh rupees, no? Per annum. 6 lakh into 10. 60 lakh rupees the company is ready to give you right now. Take this 60 lakhs and go away. See, if we would have given you salary in future, this would have been a more amount. Getting my point? Because we would have to increase your salary. So you would have got more amount. But not now, in future. You would have got more benefits. Not now, but in future. But against that, whatever salary you are getting right now, that same salary we are giving you for 10 years, take that money, because present value of money is more as compared to future value. And this amount is not a small amount. You cannot deny. Bloody take this 60 lakhs and start something on your own. No, start your business. Or at least if you put this amount in the bank FD also, giving you what? 6% interest. 60 lakh into 6%. Bank FD. 3,60,000 per annum you will earn by interest only. And with this 3,60,000, you can very well live a basic life. Your day-to-day expenses will not be affected, because interest only on that 60 lakhs, you will earn 3,60,000. And you will be free from all these problems of the company. Yes or no? So it is a good situation for both, for employee as well as the employer. Getting my point? Employer will save huge amounts in future, which the employer is supposed to spend as what? Employee cost. And the employee will also get his future salary at once right now only in present value terms. And that will be a very big amount. Getting my point? So it is a win-win situation for both. Now the number of employees will come down, because many employees will take what? Voluntary retirement. The numbers will come down. It will become very easy for company to handle, small number of employees. Now the cost of the employee cost, which is the biggest cost in any organization, even that will come down drastically. It will improve the profits of the company. It will improve the efficiency in the company. And needless to say, you are getting this huge amount in your hands right now. Do something with this money, no? God knows, if you start some business out of this money, you can scale up to sky limits. Or even if you don't want to do anything, put this money in the bank and take the interest. Your entire life will be very smoothly spent. Getting my point? So is it a win-win for both employer and employee? Hence, this scheme is also known as Golden Handshake Scheme. What? Golden Handshake Scheme. Now, who will prepare this scheme? See, this voluntary retirement should be given only to one employee, or this option should be given to all the employees. This option should be given to all the employees, because only then the purpose of reducing the number of employees will be solved, no? So the scheme will be prepared. Under this scheme, many employees will be covered. All the employees will be covered. All the employees will be covered. And the scheme will be prepared by the employer by following the prescribed guidelines. What are the guidelines prescribed? Which the employer has to follow? None of your business. Employer's headache. Let him take that headache. But I will give you a basic idea that what the guideline says. That while preparing a scheme, what did I say? While preparing a scheme, voluntary retirement scheme, the employer has to make sure that he is giving the option of voluntary retirement to all the employees except directors. Directors should not be given the option to voluntary retire. Because just imagine if all the directors will voluntarily retire, who will manage the company? Board of directors is gone, no? So board of directors should not be given this option, but other than board of directors, other than directors, all the employees should get the option of voluntary retirement. All the employees. No. Those employees whose age is 40 years or more, or who have spent 10 years in the company, those all employees should get this benefit of this scheme. Once the employee gets covered in the scheme, he can take voluntary retirement. But after taking the voluntary retirement, he cannot again rejoin the same company for another designation. Or he even cannot join sister concern of the company. The other company falling under the same management. Getting my point? And a small amount, a fixed amount of VRS compensation which the company is going to offer, this should be this much. Last on salary into 3 into number of completed years, or last on salary into balance months of service. This much should be the compensation which you should offer as per your scheme. Your scheme should be prepared for these employees. These employees taking the benefit of VRS scheme, in the scheme only write down that they will not be re-employed in the same company, or they will not get the employment in the sister concern. Like there are many other guidelines also. Now the employer has to follow all these guidelines, and by following all these guidelines, the employer will make a scheme for voluntary retirement of the employees. Now, if you are an employee who is getting covered under the scheme, so now you will take the voluntary retirement even before your actual retirement age. So for example, your actual retirement age was 60 and right now you are only 58 years old. So 2 years are yet to 2 years or more to be spent in the company in order to get actually retired. So if you want, you can take the retirement 2 years before, because you are getting covered in that scheme. Some employee might be of 50 years old only and his retirement age was 60. So even before 10 years, he can take the voluntary retirement right now because he is getting covered by this scheme. Getting my point? Now, if you are an employee before the actual age of your retirement, right now you are not at your retirement age. You are younger to that age, but still, can you take the voluntary retirement? Yes. On your voluntary retirement, your employer will give you what? A compensation. This compensation is nothing but profit in lieu of salary. Bacha. Why? Because whatever salary which you are going to lose in future, because of this voluntary retirement, whatever salary you are going to lose in the future, against that salary only you are getting this compensation. So this is nothing but a profit happening to you in lieu of your salaries. Getting my point? But this will not be fully taxable. For this also you are going to get the exemption under section 1010C. So I'll write down here, this VRS compensation is what? Here I will write, this is equal to profit in lieu of salary under section 17(3). And now this amount will be exempt to you. How much? A, B, C and D. 4 limits are given. Lowest of these 4 limits will be the amount which you can claim as exempt out of your VRS compensation. Understanding? So first limit is actual amount. Second limit is maximum 5 lakhs. So for retrenchment compensation also 5 lakh limit is there. For VRS compensation also 5 lakh limit is there. But I'll tell you something interesting over here. This 5 lakh rupees limit of VRS compensation, no? If you can see, I have put a star mark on that. Now please read this. Note number 1. This note number 1. That 5 lakh limit for VRS compensation is once in a lifetime. No, that is not lifetime maximum exemption. No. That is once in a lifetime limit. Meaning that in your lifetime, you can claim VRS compensation exemption under section 1010C only once. If you have already claimed, this time VRS compensation coming, fully taxable. You are not going to get that exemption again in your life. So VRS compensation exemption you can take only once in your life. And that limit of 5 lakh is once in a lifetime limit. Getting my point? Earlier, have you taken VRS compensation and exemption? No. This time you are taking? Yes. So you can take the exemption? Yes. Once in lifetime you can take. You are taking for the first time. But maximum how much? 5 lakhs. But for that retrenchment compensation 5 lakh limit was there, no? That is neither lifetime exemption nor once in a lifetime. That is whenever you will be retrenched, you are going to get that 5 lakh limit. Hello? Understanding? This limit of 5 lakh is once in a lifetime limit. Yes or no? Come on, tell me. A, actual amount. B, maximum 5 lakh. Lifetime, once. Then C is last drawn salary into 3. Into number of completed years of service. And 4 is last drawn salary per month into balance months of service. Now, sir, what is last drawn salary? What is last drawn salary, sir, here? Do you know golden rule? Are we bringing this limit as per any law? POGA is saying this limit. Industrial Dispute Act saying this limit. Any other law saying this limit? No, this limit is given as per Income Tax Act only. So under the Income Tax Act, whenever a limit is prescribed and in that limit, if the salary is said, that salary we are always supposed to take, golden rule. Basic, DA in terms, turnover commission. Everyone got this? And basic DA in terms turnover commission of which month? The month immediately preceding to the month of voluntary retirement. So the month in which you are taking the voluntary retirement, forget that month. Immediately prior to that, whatever month was there, for that month, what was the basic salary, what was the DA in terms, what was the turnover commission, take that amount. That amount, 3 times of that amount you should get as what? VRS compensation for every year of service. Completed year of service. So you have to check how many completed years of service was there. Completed years only. Fraction of the year ignore. For every completed year of service, you should get 3 times of your last drawn salary as what? VRS compensation. Or VRS compensation can be an amount which is last drawn salary multiplied by number of balance months of service. Meaning that right now your age is 50 and your actual retirement age is 60. So how many years of service is still remaining? 10 years multiplied by 12. How many months are still remaining? 120 months. So 120 into last drawn salary. Got it? 120 months, friends, multiplied by 50,000 rupees salary. Just imagine, check the amount, how much VRS compensation you will get. Just imagine if some employee will be having a salary of rupees, how much? 1 lakh. And 10 years service is remaining. So 1 lakh into 120, he'll get 1 crore 20 lakhs right now upfront. If some employee who is having a salary of rupees 1 lakh 50,000, he'll get 1 crore 50 lakhs. The more your salary will be, the more remaining period will be, the more you will get as what? VRS compensation. And that amount will be a huge amount, decent amount. You'll be very attracted to see that amount, that let's take the VRS right now only. Getting my point? So this was your A, B, C and D. Last round salary, what you will take? Understood now? Now, if you want to take this exemption, no friends, if you want to take this exemption, you must be the employee of specified employers only. Meaning that if these employers have made the VRS, see, I have written the names of these employers. If your employer is public sector company, any other company can be a public limited company or a private limited company also, yes or no? A public sector company or any other company, or you are the employee of any authority, you are the authority established under any act, any law in India, you are the employee of a local authority, you are the employee of cooperative society, you are the employee of any university, you are the employee of Indian Institute of Technology, IIT, you are the employee of any notified management institute, you are the employee of central government or state government, you are the employee of any notified institution having importance throughout India or any states. If they are your employers and they are making a scheme, voluntary retirement scheme, as per the guidelines approved by income tax rules, and according to that voluntary retirement scheme, if you are taking the voluntary retirement and getting the VRS compensation, only then you are going to get this exemption. In any other case, you are not going to get exemption. That VRS compensation will be taxable. So first of all, you must be the employee of any of these employers. You must be a specified employee. And your employer must give you this compensation as per the voluntary retirement scheme, which the employer has prepared by following the prescribed guidelines. Only then, according to that VRS scheme, whatever compensation you will get will be exempt like this. Got it? Should I move ahead? This is the end of VRS compensation. Now in VRS compensation, no, this 5 lakh was the lifetime. No. This is once in a lifetime limit. Okay. And one more thing. See, the exemption for VRS compensation, which I have written here. Okay, no, 1010C. And the exemption for 1010B. Can you see here? So I will write this note. This is common for both 1010B also and 1010C also. Okay. This is a common note. I will write down. Wait. In this note, I am writing exemption under section 10, 10B and 1010C. Both the exemptions. Getting my point? Both the exemption. Even for retrenchment compensation as well as for VRS compensation. If you follow 115 BSc or you don't follow 115 BSc, no problem. Under both the tax regimes, you are going to get these exemptions. So new tax regime, default tax regime also, you are going to get both these exemptions. And if you are shifting out of default tax regime, then also you are going to get this exemption. Getting my point? So I will update it and I will send the notes accordingly. Okay, no, don't worry. I'll update these notes. Have you heard about this? Have you understood this much? Sure, everyone. Now pay attention. Now one important small concept is there. Concept of relief under section 89. See, from your tax liability, no, you get marginal relief. Have you heard about that marginal relief? In first chapter we did. That is a different relief. Forget about that. I'm not talking about that marginal relief. I'm talking about a marginal relief. I'm talking about a relief which is available under section 89. And this relief is also available from your tax liability only. See, in the current year, my salary for 12 months was 12 lakhs only. So if I count only my salary for this year, no, it is 12 lakhs only. So I should actually pay tax on the income of this year only. But sometimes what happens? Income of other years also get taxed in this year. Don't you think arrears of earlier year, if not taxed earlier on due basis, will be taxable in this year? And that arrears was 3 lakhs. So this year, I will not have to pay tax on 12 lakhs. Now I will have to pay tax on 15 lakhs. So the income of this year should have been 12 lakh. I should have paid tax on only 12 lakhs. Yes or no? But some other year's income also getting taxed in this year. And as a result of that, this year, my income is more than what it should have been. And as a result of that, my tax is more as compared to the tax which I should have paid. So am I going to pay more tax? What if advance salary, the salary for the next year, which will become due in the next year, I am receiving in this year? 5 lakh rupees. Arrears of earlier years. Advance salary of subsequent years. Arrears of 3 years, 3 lakhs got taxed in this year. Advance salary of 5 lakhs. My this year's income is only 12 lakhs. So I should actually pay tax only on 12 lakhs. This much amount. But these figures also becomes income for this year, and as a result of this year's taxable salary increases. And as a result of that, my tax also increases for this year. So the year in which that year income is not taxed, some other year's income is also getting taxed. In that year, usually your tax liability is higher. So to give you some relief out of that tax liability, Section 89 says that your tax liability will be from your tax liability you will be given some relief. Some tax will be reduced. Getting my point? Hello? So how to calculate that relief and everything, that we'll learn in a later on part of this chapter. Okay. But this relief is given if more income is getting taxed in this year, which does not belong to this year only. Okay. So don't you think VRS compensation is also the income of some other year received in this year? And if it gets taxed right now, so tax liability for this year will increase. So go and claim a Section 89 relief. Claim Section 89 relief. But for that, you are supposed to show your entire VRS compensation taxable. You cannot take that exemption. If you are taking that exemption of tendency and coming to us to claim this Section 89 relief, we are not going to give you. Take any one benefit. If you are taking tendency exemption, then Section 89 relief will not be available. Hello? And if you are not taking exemption, you are showing your entire VRS compensation taxable. Yes or no? Then we are not going to give you, then only we are going to give you relief. Got it? Any one of two. So if you are taking exemption, don't take Section 89 relief. If you are taking Section 89 relief, don't take exemption of VRS. Understood? Sure? So this is the end of your VRS compensation and retrenchment compensation. Easy? Sure? Okay. Let's move now. Let's move to the question. We'll solve one question on VRS compensation. Come to question number 9. Illustration number 9. Illustration number 9. I'll start. Mr. Datta received voluntary retirement compensation of 7 lakhs after 30 years and 4 months of service. He still has 6 years of service left. 6 multiplied by 12 will be 72 months of service balance. Okay. At the time of voluntary retirement, he was drawing basic salary 20,000, DA, which forms part of pay, means DA in terms 5,000, compute his taxable voluntary retirement compensation, assuming that he does not claim any relief under section 89. If they would have told you that he is claiming relief under section 89, then your answer that taxable VRS compensation is 7 lakhs. No exemption available. But is he claiming relief under section 89? No. So can he claim the exemption now? Yes. How much? A, B, C, D, whichever is lower. Come on, tell me, what is A? A is actual amount, no? Actual amount 7 lakhs. B is maximum 5 lakhs. C is last drawn salary per month. Last month's basic, last month's DA incomes and turnover commission. Turnover commission not given. Basic and DA incomes given. That is 20 plus 5,000 will give you 25,000. So 25,000 into 3 into number of completed years. That is 30 years. So you are going to get 22,50,000 over here. Everyone got this? And D is what? Last drawn salary only. But what? Balance months of service. That is 72 months. And here you are going to get 18 lakhs. Lowest of all these four, 5 lakhs. This will be your exemption out of 7 lakhs. So taxable voluntary retirement compensation will be 2 lakhs. Got it? Done. 2 lakh is your final answer. Sure? 2 lakh. So this is the end of retirement benefits. Okay? Now we will discuss about perquisites. Pay attention now. Perquisites. What is a perquisite? First of all, understand. Perquisite means additional personal benefit. Additional means salary is given to you. In addition to your salary, you are going to get some benefits of personal nature. Then those personal benefits in addition to salary will be known as your perquisite, provided it is given in terms of in the course of employment by your employer. But sometimes personal benefits are also received in the course of business or profession or otherwise also. Those will not come here, huh? Because those personal benefits are not coming because of employer-employee relationship. Which personal benefit you will bring here? An employer giving additional personal benefits to the employee. Only then these personal benefits means perquisite will come under the head income from salary, because it is in the course of employment. But what if the payer and the payee are not employer-employee, but still these personal benefits are given? Then they are perquisites, but they are not received in the course of employment from the employer. So they can be received in the course of your business or profession or otherwise also. So if they are received in the course of your business or profession, then they will go to PGBP. And otherwise, they will go to IFOs as gifts. Getting my point? But will not come here. Here it will come only if coming from employer. Only then it will come here. Getting my point? Sure, everyone? Pay attention now. So, perquisites we are going to discuss As per what? As per salary head only. Salary head. Whatever perquisites which are there in salary head, we are going to discuss them. Now pay attention. Perquisites can be given regularly or otherwise. Meaning that may or may not be given regularly. Something will be your perquisite if it is a personal benefit for you. And that personal benefit not necessarily should be given on a regular basis. If it is given once also, no, then also it will be treated as perquisite and can be charged under the head salary. For example, if the employer gives gift to the employee, gift, will he give the gift on a regular basis or once only? Once. So even if it is not given on a regular basis, still it will be a perquisite here. Getting my point? Accommodation is given, accommodation, place to stay. So that place is given on a regular basis, no? Even that will be a perquisite over here. May or may not be regularly given. Understanding? Sure. Now, the perquisites which I am talking here can be monetary also and can be non-monetary also. But first of all, you understand the difference between perquisite and allowance, because sometimes we get, very much confused between these two things. It will appear to be same, but they are not same. Both are different. Do you remember allowance we did? Yesterday only we have completed. What is the meaning of allowance? Allowance is additional fixed amount given on a regular basis. Allowance is an amount which you get on a regular basis in addition to salary for some or the other purpose. That amount may or may not be used for the purpose for which it is coming to you. For example, I am giving you traveling allowance of 10,000. Now, I am giving you 10,000 per month, saying that use it for traveling. You may or may not use for traveling. Hello. I am giving you 5,000 rupees per month as medical allowance, saying that take this 5,000 per month, use it for medical expenses. It may or may not be spent to meet medical expenses. Hello. For some purpose in mind, an amount is given in addition to salary, and that amount is a fixed amount and it is given on a regular basis. Then that amount is allowance. That is not perquisite, that is allowance. But if in addition to your salary, a benefit is given and that benefit is of personal nature, then that benefit is known as what? Perquisite. Now I will give you few examples. You have to differentiate that whether it is a perquisite or it is an allowance. If you learn this differentiation, no, there will not be a problem. Wait, I am giving you 20,000 rupees per month to pay the rent of your accommodation. A for allowance, P for perquisite. Come on, tell me. Is it an allowance or a perquisite? I am giving you 20,000 per month to pay the rent of your accommodation. A for allowance, because I am giving you fixed amount 20,000 per month, meaning regularly, to meet the rent expense. May or may not be used for rent. It is allowance. But what if I am giving you accommodation to stay? I have given you accommodation only. Take this accommodation. In my accommodation, you only stay. Is it an allowance or P for perquisite? P for perquisite. It is a personal benefit. Wait. Your children studying in some school. So to meet the cost of education, I am giving you 500 rupees per month per child. That is allowance. May or may not be used for education. Hello. Purpose is to give you an amount to meet that cost. But that amount may or may not be used there. Hello. Now your children are studying in some school. Children are getting education in some school. The cost of that education I am paying from my pocket. This is perquisite. You pay, I will reimburse. Perquisite. Got it? Now, take this 5,000 rupees per month from me to spend for medical expenses. Allowance. Whatever medical expenses happening for medical treatment of you and your family members, I am paying from my pocket. Or you pay, I will reimburse. This is medical facility allowance. No, sorry, perquisite. Got it? Now, in my office, you all are working. In the afternoon time, you will be hungry. So to have the lunch, I am giving you 3,000 rupees per month. This is an allowance. But in the office only, if I am providing you food, this is a perquisite. Are you understanding the basic difference between allowance and perquisite? It resembles, it appears to be same, but they are not same. If I talk about food allowance, fully taxable. And if I talk about food, no, cost of food per meal, 50 rupees exempt. Perquisite, 50 rupees per meal exempt. Anything in excess of 50 per day will be taxable. See the tax treatment absolutely different. If I give you house rent allowance, you will get HRA exemption 1013A. But if I give you accommodation, its value is fully taxable. Tax treatment different. Will you be able to identify the difference between perquisite and allowance? Sure. Your electricity expenses of your home, electricity bills of your home, you pay, I will reimburse, or I will only pay. What is this? Perquisite. Because it is a personal benefit happening to you. But to pay your electricity bills, take this 5,000 rupees per month from me. May or may not be used for paying the electricity bills. This is allowance. Got it? You can tell me, no, I can give you 1,000 examples like this. But the basic idea is conveyed. Sure. Now, the allowances, forget about that. We are going to talk about personal benefit, perquisite. Some benefits are given on a regular basis. Sometimes the personal benefit can be given once also, then also it can be taxed. So it is not necessary that perquisite will be charged only if they are given on a regular basis. They can be charged even if they are not given on a regular basis. Yes or no? You will see some perquisites which are not given regularly, but still they are treated here as a perquisite and charged to tax. That we are going to see, I'll tell you. So this type of perquisite is not given on a regular basis. Still this personal benefit, even if given once, is charged to tax. Now, the perquisites can be monetary, or they can be non-monetary also. What is the meaning of monetary and non-monetary perquisite? See, the monetary perquisite, no, you will come to know that there is some personal benefit. And how much benefit is happening, that also you will come to know. Wait. There is a personal benefit. And how much that personal benefit is happening, that also you will come to know. In amount terms also you will know. That is monetary benefit, monetary personal benefits. Example I will give, don't worry. But there are certain perquisite which you know that, okay, this is my personal benefit. But what is the value? How much personal benefit happening to me? You cannot know. You'll have to value that. You'll have to calculate the value. You'll have to do the valuation for those perquisites. Those are known as non-monetary perquisites. What are they known as? Non-monetary. Now I'll give you one example, one or two examples. You'll understand what I want to convey. See, your electricity expenses of house, electricity bills, amount is 5,000. Electricity bill of your house, it is your personal expense, yes or no? 5,000 rupees. Employer paying from his own pocket. Or you pay 5,000, employer will reimburse you. Is it a personal benefit for you? How much? Monetary perquisite. Valuation is not required to be done. You know the value, how much benefit happening to you. Getting my point? Now wait. Your employer is giving you a car to drive. Take this car, use this car for your personal purpose. Use this car. Is it a personal benefit? How much? Don't know, na? Valuation will be done. Non-monetary perquisite. Take the keys of house. Stay in my house. Personal benefit. How much? Valuation needs to be done. Non-monetary perquisite. I will provide a gardener at your home. I will provide a domestic help at your home. He will come and help you. Personal benefit. How much? Valuation will be done. Non-monetary perquisite. Whenever employer makes the payment for your personal expense or the payment which you make for your personal expense, employer reimburses. That is a monetary perquisite. But whenever the employer provides something, he gives you free, he gives you a facility, then it is a non-monetary benefit. A personal benefit given free of cost. A personal benefit provided. A facility provided. If these words are used, free, facility, provided, understand that they are going to talk about non-monetary perquisites. And these non-monetary perquisites, valuation must be done. And after doing that valuation, the value will be charged to tax. Getting my point, everyone? Sure. But for non-monetary, personal benefit happens. But you know the value also. Valuation need not be done there. Got it? They are known as cash perquisites and they are known as non-cash perquisites. Cash benefits, non-cash benefits. Monetary benefits, non-monetary benefits. Got it? So this is the basic of what perquisite. Now, we came to know that, sir, perquisite is a personal benefit. Yes or no? But definition of salary under section 17(1) says that the term salary includes point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, point number 4. Any fees, commission, perquisite, profit in lieu of salary. So as per the definition of salary, perquisite will be salary, no? Yes or no? But which perquisite will be salary is given in section 17(2). These are the perquisites which are going to bring under the head salary. For some perquisites, value will be automatically derived, but for some perquisites, the valuation needs to be done because some will be monetary, some will be non-monetary. Everyone got it? Some perquisites out of 17(2), there is a list of perquisites. Some perquisites will be given on a regular basis. Some you might get once also. then also covered here and will be taxable. Sure. So monetary, how would you identify that the perquisite is a monetary perquisite? Come on, tell me. If the words are paid by employer, some personal expense paid by employer, some personal expense of the employee paid by employee but later on reimbursed by employer. See, every reimbursement coming from the employer is not your perquisite. If you have noticed, I have said personal expense paid by employer. Personal expenses of the employee paid by the employee but reimbursed. Every reimbursement is not perquisite. Reimbursement of personal expense will only be treated as perquisite. Because sometimes reimbursement of official expenses also happen. You have spent some amount for official purpose. And now your employer will give you reimbursement of that amount. That amount will not be treated as your perquisite. Sir, give us some example. No. So, best example was that electricity bill. Come on, tell me. Electricity bill is your personal expense paid by employer or you pay, employer will reimburse. Is it a payment or reimbursement of your personal expense? Yes. Then it will be treated as your perquisite. But if your employer is, going out for 10-12 days, he is going on a vacation and he is giving the responsibility of the entire office to you. Okay, that you please take care of the entire office and I'll be coming after 10 days. Till that time, handle everything. Okay, so your boss went and you are handling the office right now. So in the course of handling the office affairs, there might be some expense which you have to incur for office purpose. For example, some business clients are coming. So you ordered some tea, coffee, snacks for them. Hello? Is it ordered for yourself or the clients of the business? Clients. You are not doing that expense for your own self. You are doing that expense for the sake of your employer's business. Hello? Some internet bill was pending to be given. Internet bill, the employer, before going, he forgot to pay the internet bill. And if the internet bill is not paid for the office, the internet connection will be disconnected. So your employer called you and he told you that please pay the internet connection bill from your own pocket right now. I'll come back and give it to you. Are you paying that internet expense for yourself, internet bill for yourself? No. That internet bill for office is paid by you. Now, after 10-12 days, when the employer will come back, what first thing you will ask him? How was your vacation? No. You are least bothered about that. Bloody, you have spent money from your pocket for your employer. You will first ask for reimbursement. You will tell the employer that see, clients came. Every day clients used to come and I used to bring coffee for them, bring tea for them. I used to bring snacks for them. From my own pocket, I spent the money. For 10 days, the expense was 10,000. Internet bill, I paid 2,000. So total amount, 12,000 I have spent in these 10 days when you were out. And this 12,000 was spent for your office. Give me back the money. Are you going to get the reimbursement? Reimbursement of 12,000 which you incurred for official purpose is not your perquisite. Every time whenever you see the reimbursement, every time it will not be what? Every time it will not be a perquisite. Getting my point? Hello, sir. Sure. Pay attention now. Now, if I say that perquisites are given in 17.2. So there are clauses. Clause 1 to clause 8. How many clauses are there? 8 clauses are there. No, in reality, there are 9 clauses. How many clauses? 9 clauses. How come? Clause 1 is there, clause 2 is there, clause 3 is there. Then 4 is there, 5 is there, 6 is there, 7 is there. After 7, 7a is there. And then clause number 8 is there. So under these 8 clauses, the list is given. In this list, whatever personal benefits are written, the value of those personal benefits will be treated as your salary. In this list, some perquisites are given. The value of those perquisites will be treated as your salary and shall be charged under the salary statement. Getting my point? So first of all, you will have to calculate the value, friends. What you're supposed to do? You're supposed to calculate the value. How will you calculate? Okay, let's see now. But before that, I will write down 17 subsection 2, clause 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sorry, this is 7, this is 7A, and this is 8. Okay. I will write it separately. Why I am writing separately, clause 3? Because whatever perquisites which are prescribed, there are prescribed benefits. So there are some benefits, there are some facilities which are prescribed for rule 3. So there are some benefits, there are some facilities which are prescribed for clause 3. The value of these prescribed benefits, this value will be taxable only if you are a specified employee. Only if you are a specified employee. What if you are a non-specified employee? The value of these benefits is not taxable for you. So there are certain benefits or facilities which are prescribed for clause 3. So in clause 3, you will see 5 benefits. How many benefits? 5. I am writing the names. Okay. First benefit is motor car facility. Which one? Motor car facility. Second one is domestic servant facility. Third one is gas, water, electricity facility. Fourth one is educational facility. Fifth one is ticket facility. Ticket facility. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 5 facilities, 5 benefits which are prescribed for rule 3. Sorry, clause 3. Now the value of these prescribed facilities will be taxable in your hands only if you are a specified employee. But if you are a non-specified employees, getting these facilities, their value will not be taxable for you. No need to do the valuation also. Understanding? Hello? So, the value of motor car facility will be calculated as per rule 3.2. Domestic servant facility, rule 3.3. Then, gas, water, electricity facility, rule 3.4. Educational facility, rule 3.5. Getting my point? And this is rule 3.6. So whatever I am writing with blue color, no, that is the rule reference. As per this rule, find out the value of motor car facility. As per this rule, find out the value of domestic servant facility. As per this rule, so every rule, sub-rule, see all the perquisites are valued as per rule 3 only. All the perquisite valuation is as per rule 3 only. So if you don't remember sub-rule, at least write down rule 3. Because in entire India, nobody will be writing rule reference in their answers except you. So even if you are writing rule 3 also, no, that is also sufficient. See, all the perquisites are valued as per rule 3. But different sub rules are there. Subrule 2 will teach you how to determine the value of motor car facility. Subrule 3 will teach you how to find out the value of domestic servant facility. Likewise, for every subrule, under every subrule, you will determine the benefit value of some or the other perquisite. And that value you are supposed to calculate and charge under the head salary only if you are a specified employee. Yes or no? Now in clause number 1 and 2, what did I say? Clause number 1 and 2. Accommodation facility is given. Which facility? Accommodation. For that, rule 3, subrule 1 will be applicable. As per rule 3.1, you will calculate the value of accommodation. And that value of accommodation will be taxable for you. Here, all the perquisites which are mentioned, no. It is not mentioned that they will be taxable only if you are a specified employee. Meaning that all these perquisites will be taxable if you are a specified employee. Then also it will be taxable. If you are a non-specified employee, then also taxable. But clause 3 perquisites will be taxable only if you are a specified employee. Getting my point? Clause 1 and 2 talks about accommodation. Clause 3 talks about these prescribed benefits. Taxable only in the hands of specified employee. Clause number 4, some different perquisite is there. No need to do the valuation. Value will be automatically known. Clause 5, some different perquisite is given. Hello? No need to do the valuation. You will directly get the value, taxable value. Clause 6, some different perquisite is given. For that clause number 6, rule 3, subrule 8. Rule 3, subrule 9 is given. 3839. As per this rule, the value of that perquisite will be determined, which is given in clause 6. So if I sum it up, 17 subsection 2, clause 1 and clause 2, both talk about accommodation. So the value of this accommodation which is given, they are saying 17 subsection 2, clause 1, value of rent-free accommodation. 17 subsection 2, clause 2, value of accommodation at concessional rent. So accommodation given, rent is not taken. Or accommodation is given, but the employer is charging a small amount of rent, concessional rent. So what will be the value of this accommodation? That value will be taxable for you under the head salary. As per 17.2.1 and 2, value of rent-free accommodation taxable for you. Value of accommodation at concessional rent, that is taxable for you. But how to determine this value? For clause 1, clause 2, perquisite, how to determine the value of this perquisite? For this, you will have to go to rule 3, subrule 1. As per this, we will see the valuation. And we will find out the value as per 3.1. And that value we will bring to the salary head. We will charge under the head salary. We will say rent-free unfurnished accommodation, rent-free furnished accommodation, accommodation at concessional rent, furnished or unfurnished. Yes or no? Valuation, working note done. As per that value, working note, value will be calculated and that will be shown taxable in the salary statement. Getting my point? Then 17.2.3. Can I say 5 benefits are there? 5 benefits, 5 benefits. And for these 5 benefits, their value will also be taxable, but the value will be as per rule 3, subrule 2 to rule 3, subrule 6. 5 benefits name will be given. Each benefit as per each rule, the value will be calculated and that value will be shown taxable in your salary statement. Only if you are a specified employee. For other perquisites, no need to do specified and non-specified. Other perquisites taxable for all. Yes or no? But only this clause 3 perquisites will be taxable if you are a specified. If you are a specified employee, if it is taxable, then find out the value. But if you are a non-specified employee, it is not taxable for you. Why are you bloody calculating the value also? No need to calculate the value also. Getting my point? Then you will come to 17 to 4. This is employee's obligation met by employer. Employee's liability paid by employer. Paid or reimbursed by employer. Any liability of the employee. Any obligation of the employee. Paid by the employer. Reimbursed by the employer. Is a personal benefit for employee. All such things will be taxable under clause 4. How much amount? No need to do the valuation. Whatever amount employer has paid, your benefit taxable fully. That's it. This is a monetary benefit. Then you will come to 17 subsection 2 clause 5. Which clause? Clause 5. Which will talk about life insurance policy of the employee or pension policy, sometimes also known as annuity policy. Life insurance policy or annuity policy of the employee. Premium for that paid by the employer. That premium which is paid for your life insurance policy, that premium which is paid for your annuity policy by the employer is also your perquisite. Because this is not something which the employer is obligated to pay. He is paying on his own to give you personal benefit. There are certain sums which the employer will have to pay for you, but those sums are statutory payments like PF contribution, like NPS contribution, like ESIC contribution. Those contributions are not given by way as a personal benefit. Employer has to give because there was some law, there was some statutory obligation, because of that he had to pay. So he is paying these sums for you, not to give you personal benefit, but to comply with the law. Getting my point? But what about life insurance premium? What about annuity policy premium? No law in India tells the employer to do that. So employer is doing on his own to give you personal benefit. The value of that will also be taxable. What is the value? You will easily get whatever amount of premium he has paid is your benefit. It will be taxable only. Getting my point? Then there will be 17 subsection 2 clause 6. Clause 6 talks about ESOPs, sweat equity shares. Can your employer give you shares, sweat equity shares, free of cost? Or shares or securities under ESOP, free of cost or concessional rate? Yes. Will there be any benefit for you? Yes. That benefit will be your personal benefit as per clause 6. The value of that benefit you will have to first calculate. The value will be calculated as per rule 3, sub-rule 8 and sub-rule 9. As per this rule, the value will be determined and that value will be charged to tax. I am first of all giving you an idea that what all things we are supposed to do in perquisites, friends. And then one by one we'll pick up all these perquisites. Getting my point? Then next is 17 to 7 and 17 to 7A. That I am going to discuss with approved superannuation fund. PF and ASAF is pending, no? So in the end of the chapter, when I'll be discussing PF and ASAF, that time I will discuss these two perquisites with that point. Okay. Next one, 17 subsection 2 clause 8. Now clause 8 says that there are certain notified benefits, amenities, facilities, privileges or services. Benefit, amenity, it can be benefit also, it can be amenity also, it can be a facility also, it can be a privilege also, it can be a service also given by the employer to the employee. So these benefits, amenities, etc., which are given by the employer to the employee, first the government will identify that, okay, this benefit is given. So identify the benefit and that benefit will be notified under clause 8. Now, some other benefit notified. Oh, some other benefit identified. Don't worry. Other benefit we have identified, we will notify that also. Likewise, there are few benefits or amenities. Okay. which are notified for clause 8, even their valuation will be done as per rule 3(7), and their value will also be taxable in your hands as your perquisite. This rule 3 sub rule 7 value will be calculated and will be taxable in your hands. So everywhere can I say you are supposed to determine the value. So this entire perquisite parts is valuation only. How to find out that taxable value of the perquisite? We call it TVOP, taxable value of perquisite. Because we know that these perquisites are there which are taxable in the hands of employee as their salary. So what will be the taxable value of these perquisites in the hands of employee? This taxable value we are supposed to determine. Getting my point, everyone? Sure? Now tell me. First things first. First perquisite which we are going to do is 17 subsection 2, and in that clause 1 is there which says that value of rent-free accommodation, and clause 2 says value of accommodation at concessional rent. So this value will be taxable under the head income from salary. But how this value will be determined? Rule 3 sub rule 1. Ready? Shall I? So we are now into rule 3. First sub rule. This first sub rule will talk about that accommodation perquisite which your employer is giving you. It can be rent free also. It can be at concessional rent also. Now in order to calculate this value, what we are going to do, pay attention. We will first find out the value of accommodation. What will find out? Value of accommodation. Okay. Then in that value of accommodation, we will add value of furniture, etc. Because sometimes with accommodation, it is not necessary that only the accommodation will be given. Sometimes with accommodation, furniture, etc. is also given. Furnished accommodation is given. If I give you only accommodation without furniture, then this will be the taxable value. Hello? But if I give you accommodation along with furniture, then this plus this, both values will be taxable. So what is the benefit because of accommodation? What is the benefit because of accommodation? This much is the benefit. What is the benefit because of furniture? This much is the benefit. If only accommodation is there, this value, furniture value, will not be calculated. Hello? What if along with accommodation, furniture is also given? Then calculate this value, add both the values, that total will be taxable. Getting my point? So if I do the total, I get the benefit value, including furniture. But don't you think sometimes giving you the benefit, so the value of benefit is this much. This much benefit is given, but some rent is recovered. Can I say out of that benefit only, some benefit is taken away from you in the form of rent? Should that benefit be taxable? No. Understanding? This much is the total benefit happening to you. out of this benefit, if some benefit is taken away from you in the form of rent, yes or no? Should that amount be taxable for you, which is taken away from you? No. So reduce that out of this. So you will do less what? Rent recovered from the employee. If you reduce this rent, no, whatever final amount will be there, it will be taxable value of perquisite. Yes or no? You are supposed to calculate this like in this format. Now wait. First is clause 1 is rent free accommodation. That accommodation can be unfurnished and it can be furnished also. But rent is not taken. Hello? Second one is accommodation at concessional rent. But that accommodation can also be unfurnished or furnished, no? So now, either an accommodation will be an unfurnished accommodation without rent or with rent. Hello? Or a furnished accommodation with rent, without rent. Or can I say, simply put it like this? Rent-free accommodation can be unfurnished, it can be furnished. So if rent-free accommodation is there, come on. Rent-free unfurnished accommodation can be there, or rent-free furnished accommodation can also be there. Unfurnished accommodation can be there with concessional rent, and furnished accommodation can also be there with concessional rent. 4 possibilities will be there. 4 possibilities. Now tell me, if rent-free unfurnished accommodation is given, is the employer taking rent from you or not taking rent from you? Not taking no rent. This will not come. Here you will write 0. Is he giving furniture also or only accommodation? Only accommodation? This will not come. So you will only calculate this value. You will write nil here. You will write nil here. Your value will come. Ayo, understanding? What if your employer is giving you furnished accommodation without rent? So this value will also come. This value will also come. But is the employer recovering any rent? No. So this part will not come. You will get the value. Hello. And that amount will be taxable for you. Now you will have to calculate both the values. Now what if accommodation is unfurnished but rent is taken? Accommodation is unfurnished but the rent is taken. So can I say this will not come? And you will get the taxable value. Hello sir. Hello sir. Now accommodation is furnished and rent is also taken. Accommodation is furnished and rent is also taken. Now all the 3 parts will come. And you will get the taxable value. Will you be able to calculate? Now, I will tell you what is to be taken here. Working note 1. What is to be taken here? Working note 2. For you, how much is the benefit from that accommodation which the employer is giving you? How much is the benefit from that accommodation which the employer is giving you? Value. For that, working note 1. How much is the benefit to you from that furniture which the employer is giving you along with the accommodation? Value of that furniture. Working note 2. Done? So I will do working note number 1 first. Sure? Ready? Come on. Working note 1. Value of accommodation. Now tell me, if that accommodation is provided, it can be provided to a government employee also, and it can be provided to non-government employee also. So if the accommodation is provided to the government employee is getting some personal benefit from the employer. Yes or no? Hello? If the accommodation is provided to the government employee, so now the employee is getting this benefit. No. What benefit government employee is getting? He is getting accommodation to stay. So is it a personal benefit for him? Yes. Will it be taxable for him? Yes. But how much amount will be taxable for this government employee is given separate. But if that accommodation is given to a non-government employee, is it a personal benefit for him? Yes. How much amount will be taxable? It is given separately. Sure? So pay attention. If you are a government employee, who is getting what? Who is getting accommodation from the employer. So the benefit happening to you from this perquisite, what benefit is happening to you? What did I write? License fees of such accommodation which will be computed by the government only as per its own rules. You are not supposed to bother that how the license fees is calculated. No, don't bother yourself. The license fees will be calculated by the government only as per its own rules. So the government will apply its own rules and the government will calculate what? License fees. And the license fees which the government has calculated, no? That license fees will be treated as your benefit. What is this license fees, What is the meaning? I'll tell you, you'll laugh. Meaning of license fees. They cannot write down simply. They'll complicate. They could have written the rental value. No, will not write rental value. License fees. Because the government is giving you the license to stay in their premises. So for that, whatever amount they will charge, we will not call it rent. We will call it license fees. Now apply some logic. Okay. Are you a government employee? Government is giving you accommodation. If you see that the government has calculated the rental value of this house, and that rental value, for example, is 5,000 rupees per month. 5,000 rupees per month, according to the government, if the government would charge rent from anyone for this accommodation, it will be 5,000 rupees per month. So according to the government, this should be the rent of our accommodation, which you are not paying, because this accommodation is given to you which had a rental value of 5,000. It was given to you by the government as what? Accommodation. And as a result of that accommodation coming to you, hello, are you saving this 5,000 rupees of rent from your pocket? If just imagine you were some outsider You would have taken the same accommodation on rent from the government. How much the government would have charged from you? 5,000 per month? No. Are you paying that 5,000 or you are saving that 5,000? Yes, you are saving that 5,000. So whatever amount you are saving in your rent should be your benefit. No. This amount will be taxable as your perquisite. Nobody will tell you the logic for this. Why this amount? Everyone will say, Amma, listen, if the government is giving you accommodation, no, so for the government, this license fees, this will be taxable value. Why? What is the meaning? And why this value only? Nobody will give you this logic. You go and ask to your friends, why this value is taxable? What is the logic for taxing this value? Nobody will know except you. Because now you know that if I was not a government employee, I was some outsider, the government would have given this premises to me on rent, then the government would have charged 5,000 per month from me. But thank God, I am a government employee. This accommodation whose rent was 5,000 is given to us rent free. Hello. So as a result of that, we are saving this 5,000 rent. The rent which we are saving, no, is our benefit. Done. Now no need to mug up also. It will automatically stick in your mind. Do one thing, this license fees will always be given in the question. Pick up this value, show it taxable under the salary statement. That's it. Done. Easy? Easy? This value you will write down here. Working note 1. Okay. Now wait. If you are a non-government employee, which employee, friends? Non-government employee. So non-government employee is getting the accommodation. Accommodation provided to non-government employee, which was owned by the employer in a place. Place means town or city. Yes or no? Any town or any city means what? Place. Okay. In a place where the population as per 2011 census. So we have to check the population as per 2011 census. Yes or no? Is greater than 40 lakhs. Can be less than equal to 40 lakhs, but it is greater than 15 lakhs, or it is less than equal to 15 lakhs also. You will check the population of the city where the employer is giving you his owned accommodation. So are you getting the accommodation from your employer? Yes. That accommodation was owned by your employer. Your employer is the owner of that accommodation. But he is owning that accommodation in a city, in a place where the population was 40 lakhs. Or the accommodation given to you in a city, in a place where the population is less than equal to 40 lakhs, but it is more than 15 lakhs. Or it can be given in a city where the population is, city or town where the population is up to 15 lakhs. So if that accommodation is given in this city, no, this city, then how much benefit is happening to you? 10% of your salary. This is your benefit. If the accommodation is given in this city, no, then how much benefit is happening to you? 7.5% of your salary. This is your benefit. This benefit happening to you. And if the accommodation is given in this city, then benefit happening to you is 5% of your salary. So how come this benefit, sir? 10% of my salary, how come that is my benefit? Apply some logic. A city where the population is more than 40 lakhs. Usually, in such cities, a person spends at least 10% of his salary to pay the rent. at least, which you are not spending, because in that city the employer owned a house which he gave to you as a accommodation. But if that accommodation was not given to you, you would have to at least pay this much amount as rent in that city. Yes or no? Are you giving this much amount of rent or saving? Saving. This is your benefit. Same logic for 7.5% and 5%. Usually in a cities where the population is up to 40 lakhs but more than 15, cities where the population is more than 15 lakhs but up to 40 lakhs, in such cities, usually it is seen that the employees, that a person spends at least 7.5% of his salary to pay the rent, which you are not spending, you are saving, because in that city the employer gave his own accommodation to you. Isn't it your benefit? For 5% of salary, same logic is there. Trust me on this, guys. You ask this logic to any of your friends, they will not be able to explain. They will know that, okay, this perquisite, this type given, this type of perquisite given, this is the value taxable. But what is the logic for this value to be taxed? Why this value is taxed? Getting my point? Today you will ask your friends. Kaushik, you will also ask your friends. And tomorrow you will tell me that whether your friends were able to give you the logic for this or not. This is your homework for today. And tomorrow you will come to know, tomorrow you will tell me happily that thank God, sir, you saved us. You told us the logic. We asked them, but they did not know. So what you will do? You will go and tell them the logic? No, don't go. Tell them to watch my videos. Got it? Okay, now pay attention. This. Now your employer can provide you accommodation. But that accommodation will not be his accommodation. He will take the accommodation on rent from someone. And that accommodation he will give you to stay. Possible or not possible? Now in whatever city, now don't see the population, where that accommodation he took on rent. No need to see the population also. It can be in any place, no? Place where the population is up to 15 lakhs. Place where the population is more than 15 lakhs but up to 40 lakhs. Place where the population is more than 40. It can be given in any city. How much rent you would have paid in that city? Either 5% or 7.5% or 10% of your salary. Whichever is higher. 10%, at the most 10% you would have paid. Hello? In whatever city, if you would have gone to take the accommodation on rent, how much rent you would have paid? Either 5% of your salary or 7.5% of salary or 10% of your salary. Minimum you have paid, no? You had to pay. Any of these three you would have paid. So take the highest one, no? 10% of your salary. This is the highest amount of rent. Meaning, actually this is that amount which you are at least paying. But out of the three, this is highest, no? So either this 10%, if the accommodation is taken on rent by whom? By the employer. And that accommodation, if the employer is giving, if that accommodation the employer is giving, then tell me how much rent you could have paid for this accommodation. Any city. 10%. Okay. 10% of your salary you could have paid as what? Rent, or the actual rent paid by whom? Paid by employer. If you had paid actual rent, then this much actual rent you also would have paid, which your employer is paying right now. actual rent paid by the employer. If he did not take, you had to take, you had to pay at least this much also. Hello? You would have paid this rent, or the rent which could have been paid by you. Actual rent which you would have paid, which your employer is paying. Hello? Or the rent which you could have paid, 10% of your salary. Whichever is lower, that will be your benefit. Getting my point? So imaginary amount of rent or actual amount of rent. Either the imaginary amount of rent will be lower or the actual amount of rent will be lower. Hello? Any one of them, which is the lowest amount, will be your benefit from this accommodation. Getting my point? How many cases are there, Total 5 cases are there. 5 cases. Government employee, 1 case. Non-government employee, accommodation owned by employer, 3 cases. Non-government employee, accommodation taken on rent by the employer and given to you, 1 more case. So total how many cases? 5 cases are there. Now looking at the question, you have to identify which case is there in the question. Can you identify? And once you identify, you have to remember, okay, for this case, this much was the taxable value, which I have to now calculate. Okay. Now tell me, to calculate, you have to take the salary also. What you have to take? Salary. What will you take as salary? Come on, tell me. Golden rule, sir. Basic, DA in terms. No, no, don't take that. Wait, I'll tell you now. For all the calculations which we have seen, we used to say that the term salary includes basic, DA in terms, turnover commission. Or 2 places, retrenchment compensation and POGA. Salary includes basic and DA. They told like this. Here, for the purpose of valuing this perquisite, they are saying that your salary includes everything except, meaning your salary does not include 5 things which I am going to write now. How many things? 5 things. Except for these 5 things, whatever salary is there, now you take it. Add that salary. But don't take these 5 things as a part of this salary. So here they have defined the salary in a reverse way. Here they are not saying your salary includes. No, 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 no. Here they are saying your salary does not include, meaning that salary includes everything except 5 things. Now I will write down the name of those 5 things. If your employer is giving you DA not in terms, what did I say? DA not in terms. Tell me, is it taxable salary? DA not in terms is taxable, no? So when you will be making your salary statement, in that salary statement, write down DA not in terms because it is taxable. But don't bring that DA not in terms here to calculate this salary. Don't bring it. But sir, what if DA in terms is given? DA in terms is taxable. Hello? And they are not telling you to exclude DA in terms, meaning that DA in terms will be included. But don't include DA not in terms. Getting my point? Next one. Employers' contribution to provident funds. Next one. Value of all other perquisites, whether monetary or non-monetary. Then exempt portion of allowances. And last but not the least, lump sum retirement benefits. See, I am not saying that this is not your salary, this is not taxable. No, 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 no. All these things are your salary. And if they are getting taxed under the head salary, you have to tax them also. But whenever you will be calculating this salary for the purpose of valuing the perquisite, don't include these 5 things as a part of this salary. Getting my point? Except these 5 things, you are supposed to take everything. So wait, you will not be able to value this perquisite till the time you don't solve your entire question. Because in your entire question, your salary details will be given. And from that, you will make the salary statement. Your entire salary statement will be made, amounts will be there, except one amount which will be missing. Accommodation benefit, which you will be able to calculate and write only in the end of the answer. So first solve the entire salary question. And in the end, come and value this perquisite. Because for the purpose of valuation of this perquisite, salary includes everything which you are getting in your statement. Hello? Except these 5 things. Got it? Everyone? So from your statement, will you take basic? Yes. Will you take commission? Yes. Will you take bonus? Yes. Everything you take. Will you take allowances? Yes. But taxable portion. Don't take the exempt portion. Don't take the entire allowance given by the employer. Only take that allowance part which is getting taxed. Don't take the exempt. Exempt allowance will not come in the statement also, and that exempt part of allowance will not come here also. But taxable part of allowance will be there in the statement also, and that taxable portion of allowance will be taken here also. Sometimes your employer's contribution to provident fund, it is also taxed. So tax it, but don't take it here. All other perquisite taxable under the head salary, whether monetary or non-monetary. Will your employer give you only accommodation perquisite or other perquisites also? Other perquisites also. Their value will also be taxable as your salary. Tax them, but don't take those values for the purpose of this calculation. Getting my point? Next one. Any lump sum retirement or superannuation benefit like gratuity, pension, leave salary, etc. Getting my point? Taxable. After taking the exemption, whatever amount remains, that is taxable. Tax them, but don't count them while calculating this salary. So 5 things, please remember. Please. Majority of the students commit mistake here only, here. And this is the pain point. If you will see any question on salary, no, mark my words, in the examination, that will always 99% of the chance accommodation facility will be asked. Because this is only the complicated part which nobody understands. And if you don't understand, majority of the students don't understand this, institute knows this. And institute will always put their hand on that point where it pains the most. So have your command, make these calculations. We will solve few questions. You will come to know how easy this is. How easy this is. Very easy. But first you'll have to remember all these things, then you'll understand. Okay? Or understand, then you'll remember. First remember, then understand. No. First understand, then you'll remember. Okay? Wait now. 5 things. Please repeat. First, DA not in terms. Don't take. Employer's contribution to provident fund. Don't take. Then all other perquisites. Value of all other perquisites. Monetary, non-monetary. Don't take. Number 4. Exempt portion of allowance. Don't take. Number 5. Lump sum retirement or superannuation benefits. Don't take. Except these 5 things, no. Take everything which is your salary. But wait. This will be taken only on due basis. Except 5 things, whatever salary becoming due, you are supposed to take. But due in the period for which accommodation is occupied. If you are taking the salary becoming due for the full year, hello, then make sure the employee has occupied the accommodation for full year. If the employee has occupied the accommodation for the full year, take the salary becoming due for full year, except these five things. Getting my point? But what if your employee is occupying the accommodation only for 8 months? Then if you are taking the salary becoming due for 12 months, no. Meaning that you are calculating the accommodation for those 4 months also, for which you are not getting any benefit. Just imagine 8 months if you are occupying an accommodation, that means you are getting the benefit for 8 months only, no? So take the salary which becomes due during that 8 months only. Calculate 10%, 7.5% or 5% off that 8 month salary only. Only then that 8 months personal benefit will be taxable for you. But benefit is given for 8 months, bloody you are taking the salary for the full year, meaning that for those 4 months also you are calculating the benefit. If you are counting the salary for those 4 months, that means for those 4 months also the benefit is calculated and charged to tax, for which you are not getting any benefit. Why are you taking the salary for those 4 months? Don't take. Getting my point? So if accommodation is given from July to March, so July to March, 9 months. Whatever salary becoming due from July to March, from all your employers, they are not saying that from one employer, no, during that July to March, whatever, how many employers you are having, we are not concerned. Whatever salary becoming due in this period from all your employers, yes or no, except these five things, you are supposed to take that salary. Got it? So, salary becoming due in the period during which the accommodation is occupied. But this salary has to be taken from all employers becoming due in this period. Salary from all employers becoming due in the period in which the accommodation is occupied, except these five salaries. Got it? Now wait. I will ask you one thing. Salary which becomes due during this period, no? From all the employers. Becoming due, huh? Becoming due. Please remember. From July to March, the accommodation was occupied. July to March, accommodation was occupied. So you are going to take only that salary which becomes due from July to March. That's it. But don't you think during July to March, you must have received arrears of earlier years? Or you must have received advance salary of early subsequent year in this period? Tell me, arrears of salary of earlier year becoming due in this year, in this period? No. Ignore. Advance salary which is received in this period, is it becoming due in this period? No, don't take it. Sir, but whatever salary which becomes due in this year, I am supposed to take that only. Yes. But what if that salary is not received in this period? No problem. Whether that salary is received in this period or not, you are not supposed to see that. Is the salary becoming due in this period? Yes, take that entire salary. If that salary not becoming due in this period, don't take. If that salary, even though not received in this period, but becoming due in this period, you have to take that entire salary. Got it? Sure? So you are through with the calculations. If you understood this now, that's it. Now tell me, this is the value of accommodation. So either this value will be there. Wait, I'll write. Either this value will be there, or this value will be there, or this, or this, or this value 5. Any 5 of them you are supposed to write here, working note 1. This will be your value. Value of accommodation will be any 5 of them that you are supposed to write here. Got it? Now, if you are getting only accommodation, no, so you are already having the value. If you are having only accommodation, then you are already having a value. No need to do anything else. What if it is rent-free accommodation? You are having this value. No need to write furniture. No need to reduce the rent recovered. Hello. Whatever balance is there will be taxable. This value will only be the taxable value, no? What if the accommodation is given, but for that rent is also charged? So these 5 values which you have calculated, write down that value, and from that reduce the rent, you will get the taxable value. Hello, sir. Understanding, no? Now wait. What if along with accommodation, furniture is also given? Possible or not possible? Possible. Let's see. So I will do working note number 2. Now this is working note number 2. In the working note 2, I will calculate what? Value of furniture. Furniture provided along with what? Along with accommodation. So furniture means what? Furniture can be anything. It can be sofa, it can be cupboards, it can be AC, it can be TV, fridge, washing machine, all such things. All the home appliances which are provided along with the accommodation are known as what? Furniture. Okay. All the movable assets, in short. So that furniture which is provided, can I say that furniture which is provided along with the accommodation, it can be owned by the employer. So ownership of the furniture is of employer, and that furniture the employer is giving you along with the accommodation. Then how much benefit you will derive by using this furniture? So they are saying 10% per annum of the actual cost of such furniture. So whatever actual cost of that furniture is there to the employer, yes or no? 10% per annum of that actual cost will be taken as your benefit. That means by using this furniture, how much benefit is happening to you? 10% of the actual cost of that furniture. No, 10% per annum benefit. Per annum, very important point. If that owned furniture is given to you throughout the year and the actual cost of that furniture was 1 lakh. So 10% of 1 lakh is 10,000. Friends, this 10,000 is the value, per annum value, full year value. If you are using that furniture for the full year, then this 10,000 is your benefit. But what if that furniture is used by you only for 6 months? Then this 10,000, if you are charging, meaning that you are charging the benefit for those 6 months also, for which you have not used the furniture. So what you will do? 10,000 into 6 divided by 12, because this 10,000 is per annum value, divide by 12 multiplied by number of months for which you were using this furniture. Or it can be, the calculations can be done in days also. Huh? Calculation can be done in days also. How come, sir? For example, this value which you have calculated, it is a per annum value, meaning it is a value for 365 days. So divide by 365 multiplied by number of days for which you were using this furniture. Got it? This per annum is very important point. Huh? Please remember, many students commit mistake on this point also. Now, if the furniture provided along with the accommodation was taken on rent by the employer, meaning that employer took the furniture on rent and then gave that furniture to you to be used. So in this case, how much will be the benefit? Simple. Actual higher charges or rent of such furniture. Paid by whom? Paid by employer. If he would have not paid this rent and you would have taken the furniture on rent, how much rent you would have paid? This much only, no? So this is your benefit. Understanding? So now, for example, accommodation only given. What will you do? Only accommodation, no rent is taken. You will write, you will calculate the value of accommodation, calculate that value, show it taxable. No need to add furniture value, no need to reduce rent recovered, because only accommodation was given without rent and without furniture. Okay. But what if this accommodation is given along with furniture and no rent is recovered? Then have you calculated the value of furniture like this? Hello. So calculate the value of furniture like this and add that value of furniture. Done. So this value plus this value will give you a total value. This is the value of furnished accommodation given to you. Done. But wait, this is the value if rent is not recovered. But what if this furnished accommodation was given and rent was also recovered? Then reduce the rent from this amount. You will get the benefit. Got it? But what if unfurnished accommodation was given with rent? Then unfurnished accommodation, only this value. Hello? And minus the rent amount. Sure? Sure. Did you understand? So working note 1, working note 2. Working note 1, value of accommodation. Working note 2, value of furniture. Value of accommodation is 5 cases. Anyone can come here. Okay. And value of furniture, how many cases? 2 cases. Owned furniture, then 10% per annum of the actual cost. Hired furniture, then actual hire charges paid by the employer will be your benefit. Sometimes it might also happen that some furniture is owned, that is given, and some furniture hired, and that is given. So in that case, both the values will come. Add both the value of furniture is there. Got it? Will you remember? Sure. So this is the end of accommodation main part, major part. Now there are small discussions which are supposed to be done with accommodation. What if what if hotel accommodation is given? What if double accommodation is given? What if the accommodation is given in remote areas? Understanding? So for those things also we are supposed to do some discussion. Okay. So we'll start now. Friends, ready? Steady? Go. Okay. See, so two more things we are supposed to discuss, 2 or 3 small things we are supposed to discuss. One is, what if the accommodation is given and that accommodation is given in a hotel? Possible or not? So if employee is given accommodation in hotel, so it can be given while the employee is on official tour, or it can be given while the employee is on a vacation. Vacation means personal tour. Yes or no? Or it can be given while the employee is transferred. Three possibilities are there. In these three cases, the employer can give accommodation to the employee in hotel. Okay. So, if the hotel accommodation is given while the employee is on official tour, meaning that, for example, I'm working in Chennai. Okay. My employer is in Chennai. My home is in Chennai. I'm working in Chennai. But for sometimes I have to visit, other places also for my employer's, work. Possibly he's sending me to Mumbai. He's telling me that Umang, go to Mumbai. There is some official work in Mumbai for 4 5 days. Finish that work and then come. I said, okay, sir, I'll go. So if I'll go to Mumbai, I'll do the work, my official work I'll do. Where would I stay? Railway station, bus stand. Where would I stay? I would need some place to stay, no? So the employer has told me that, Umang, don't worry. When you'll go for this official visit, no, we have booked a hotel for you. 5-star hotel. Booking is done for 4 days. Stay in that hotel. So he is giving me hotel accommodation. He is spending money on my hotel accommodation. But by spending that money, is he giving me any personal benefit? Or it is a benefit of official nature? It is a benefit of official nature. Because I am not going for my own vacation and you are giving me hotel accommodation. No, I am going for my official duties. So if the accommodation is provided while the employee is on official tour, the benefit is fully exempt. So what will be the taxable value of this perquisite? Come on, tell me. It will be nil. Whatever amount spent by the employer on this benefit, nothing will be taxable in my hands, because this entire benefit is official in nature, not personal in nature. Getting my point? Now, while I am on vacation, the accommodation can be given to me. I am going to Shimla, Kullu, Manali. Okay, me and my family. Where will I stay? Igloo. I will stay in igloos. Or I will need some place, proper place to stay. I am not a nomad, no. I will not go and stay in the igloos, in the jungles. So 4 5 days, 7 days, whatever period I am staying on my vacation, my employer has told me that, Umang, you are my good employee. So I always take care of my good employees. You go with your family. You enjoy your vacations. Don't worry. Stay in a hotel over there. We'll meet the cost of that hotel accommodation. Possible or not possible? Now, is he trying to give me a personal benefit by doing this? Yes. This is entirely my personal benefit. So this will be fully taxable in my hands. Now, what value will be taxable? Come on, tell me. According to you, what value should be taxable for me? Taxable value will be amount spent by employer on my hotel accommodation. Yes or no? Whatever amount he is spending is my benefit. Minus if he is recovering some amount. So if he is doing some recovery from me, that okay, I'll spend this much amount on your hotel. Okay, entire cost I will meet. Entire hotel expense I will meet. But you will have to give me this much amount back. So first he is giving me some benefit, but out of that benefit he is taking away some benefit by making a recovery, no? So reduce that amount. Whatever balance remains, that balance amount is your taxable value. Yes or no? Sure, everyone? Now wait. If I am on a transfer, meaning that from Chennai, I am shifting to Mumbai for my job. Maybe in the same company I am promoted and I'm placed in the headquarters in Mumbai? Yes or no? Or maybe I'm changing my employment and I'm taking up a job, new job in Mumbai. So if my location is changing, I'm getting transferred from one place to another place. So my joining is very quick. They are telling me to join fast. So within 10-15 days, they want me to join. But within this much small amount of time, I cannot arrange a house over there, no? Or neither the employer can provide an accommodation over there. So till the time he will arrange an accommodation for me over there, or I will take an accommodation on rent over there, will he keep me in a hotel? Yes, he has kept me in a hotel and he is spending money on my hotel accommodation. Is he providing me hotel accommodation? Yes, but now it is not on official tour. Now it is not on personal tour. Now it is because of the transfer. So whenever the transfer of the employee takes place, at the time of transfer, when the places are changed, at that time also the hotel accommodation normally given. Okay, so that hotel accommodation which is given on transfer, the benefit, it is also a personal benefit. But the personal benefit arising for first 15 days of that hotel accommodation, that will be fully exempt. Meaning that if he is keeping me in a hotel for 10 days, full exemption. If he is keeping me in a hotel for 12 days, fully exempt. 15 days, fully exempt. But what if he is keeping me in the hotel for 25 days? Is he providing me hotel accommodation on my transfer? Yes, but now he is providing that hotel accommodation for a period of more than 15 days. Getting my point? So, for excess days, what did I say? For excess number of days, if that hotel accommodation was provided, then it will be taxable for excess days only. Meaning that if the hotel accommodation is provided for 25 days, it will not be taxable for full 25 days. For first 15 days, it will be exempt only. But for the excess number of days, that means days over and above 15 days. So in my example, if the hotel accommodation was provided for 25 days, how many excess number of days he provided me hotel accommodation over and above 15? 10 days only, no? So for those excess 10 days, the benefit will be taxable. So now what will be the taxable value over here? So they are saying 24% of my salary. What did I say? 24% of my salary, which becomes due in those 10 days. Salary for the full year? No. Salary for that excess period I have to take. So how many days were extra? 10 days were extra? No. So for those excess 10 days, whatever salary becomes due, 24% of that salary. Or, and minus what? Recovery, if any, for those excess number of days. So now, sir, how to calculate the salary which becomes due in these 10 days? Can you calculate the salary becoming due for a month? Can you calculate the salary becoming due for a month except those 5 things? Yes or no? Calculate. Divide by 30, multiplied by 10, you get the salary which becomes due for these 10 days. Hello? Getting my point? 24% of that salary for those 10 days. And for those 10 days, if he is making some recovery from me, that recovery will be reduced. Whatever balance remains, that balance will be taxable. Everyone, did you understand? Tell me yes or no. So this was your hotel accommodation. So along with the accommodation facility, you are supposed to remember this also, because in the rules, this is also given. Hotel accommodation in excess of 15 days. Did you understand? Yes or no? Pay attention. Wait. Here I have written 24%. No? Wait. This is 24% of my salary or actual amount spent by employer for those 10 days, whichever is lower. Not just 24%, but the actual amount for those 10 days, which is actually spent by the employer. So usually what happens for the salary which becomes due for that period, no? Usually 24% of that salary is spent for hotel. It is seen that how much is the hotel amount which I had to spend. Minimum 24% of my salary I would have spent as what? Hotel expense, accommodation expense in hotel, which I would have spent, or the amount which the employer is actually spending for those 10 days. Whichever is lower, that you are supposed to take. Not don't take only 24%, take 24% or actual amount spent by the employer for those 10 days. Whichever is lower. And that lower amount minus recovery from there. You will get what? Taxable amount. Okay. I forgot to write this. Please update this. Okay. Now we'll talk about double accommodation. Can your employer give you 2 accommodations? Sir, 1 also is not giving. Forget about 2. But imagine, no, imagine. Our imagination can go anywhere, no? So imagine that you are a very, very reputed employee in the organization. So you are given 2 accommodations by your employer. Bloody 1 accommodation value we don't exempt. If you get 1 accommodation, we tax the entire value. What if you get 2 accommodation? Value of both the accommodations will be calculated and will be taxable in your hands. Getting my point? But sometimes double accommodation is given because of your transfer to other place. That time the value of both the accommodation will not be taxed. For first 90 days, value of any one accommodation, whichever is lower, will be taxed. And double accommodation in excess of 90 days, double accommodation in excess of 90 days, for that excess period, whatever will be the value of those, both the accommodation will be taxable for you. But for first 90 days, value of both the accommodation will not be taxed. Value of any one accommodation will be taxed. Because the double accommodation is given due to transfer. Getting my point? So wait, if employer has given double accommodation, now double accommodation to employee. Now this double accommodation is there, can be provided on transfer of the employee, or it can be provided otherwise also. If it is provided otherwise, no, value of both accommodations you will calculate and that value will be taxable. No exemption. Value of first accommodation will also be taxable. Value of second accommodation will also be taxable. Now it depends that first accommodation was rent-free furnished accommodation. Second was furnished accommodation at concessional rent. It can be any type of accommodation, but you have to calculate the value of both the accommodation based on the salary. Okay. And charge tax on the value of both the accommodation, because both the values are taxable. But if you are on transfer, no, and the double accommodation is given, then they are saying for first 90 days, for first 90 days of such accommodation, value of first accommodation or value of second accommodation, whichever is lower. What did I say? Whichever is lower, that will be taxable. And for period in excess of 90 days, what will you do? Come on, tell me. You will do the same thing. Value of first accommodation, value of second accommodation, both the value you will calculate. But now, instead of whichever is lower, you will add both and tax both the amount. Both amount will be taxable. Got it? Everyone? Now I'll give you one example to understand this, okay? Pay attention. In the month of April, you are staying in the accommodation belonging to your employer. That accommodation was rent-free unfurnished accommodation in Chennai. So April month, the employer has given you RFUA, rent-free unfurnished accommodation. Your employer has given. Where? In Chennai. So you have been staying in this accommodation since past only, since many years. Now in the beginning of the year also, you are staying in this accommodation in Chennai. That was RFUA in Chennai. Okay, no? Now, can I say on 1st of July 2024, your employer called you to Mumbai, and from 1st July 2024, you have started working in Mumbai. So in Mumbai, your employer will keep you in another accommodation. For example, that was a furnished accommodation at concessional rent. Getting my point? In Mumbai. Now you have requested your employer that employer, please listen to me, employer. I will come to Mumbai. I will work for you in Mumbai, but please give me one accommodation in Mumbai also. So employer said, okay, yes, take the accommodation in Mumbai. But what about that accommodation which I have given in Chennai? So you said, sir, let me come first to Mumbai, stay in the accommodation, make the necessary arrangements for my family to come, because see, my children are having their exams. By that time, their exams will get over. My parents are undergoing some treatment. The treatment will be over. So once everything is sorted over there, no, and I will make some arrangements for my family in Mumbai, no, I will call everyone to Mumbai. Hello. And then that time I will vacate the Chennai accommodation. Till that time, let my family also stay over there. So from July onwards, you started staying in Mumbai in the accommodation of your employer, but in the July only you are not vacating that Chennai accommodation. Getting my point? Still your family stays there. But after some time, when you have made all the arrangements over here, you call your parents and your family here, then only you will vacate that Chennai premises, no? And it took you some time. And you could vacate it on 30th of November 2024. Till 2024, November 2024, you were staying in Mumbai in employer's accommodation. Until 30th November, Chennai accommodation was also there with you where your family was staying. On 30th November, what happened? You gave the keys back to the employer for your Chennai accommodation. Now you are staying in Mumbai accommodation with your family. So tell me, can I say from 1st April 2024 till 30th June, can I say for these 3 months, you are having only one accommodation, and that was rent-free unfurnished accommodation at Chennai? Sure. Now whatever salary which will become due for these 3 months, based on that salary, the value of this accommodation will be determined. And that value will be taxable for you. Did you understand this? Come on, tell me. Now tell me, from July, you are having Mumbai accommodation, furnished accommodation at concessional rent, as well as this RFUA in Chennai also you are having. Till what time? November. After November, you are having only one accommodation. Chennai accommodation is vacated. Now you and your family are staying in Mumbai accommodation only. So can I say with effect from 1st of December 2024 till 31st March 2025? Yes or no? From 1st of December till 31st March. How many months? 4 months. For these 4 months, can I say for these 4 months you are having furnished accommodation at concessional rent in Mumbai? Only one accommodation you are having? So the salary which becomes due for these 4 months, based on the salary of these 4 months, the accommodation value will be determined for this Mumbai accommodation. Hello? Getting my point? And that value will be taxable for this period. There is no problem here because single accommodation, single accommodation. Earlier 3 months salary, you were given RFUA at Chennai, you will calculate the value of RFUA at Chennai. But that will be based on 3 months salary, first 3 months salary. Last 4 months, you are given furnished accommodation at Mumbai, only one accommodation. Based on the last 4 months salary, you will calculate the value of this furnished accommodation at Mumbai and you charge that to tax. Getting my point? Now, let's discuss about this period. Here what is happening? Come on, tell me. You are having, in this period, you are having RFUA at Chennai, where your family is still staying, and furnished accommodation at Mumbai, where you are staying. This is double accommodation, can tell me? But don't you think that this double accommodation was given because you got transferred from one place to another place? So now what will happen? Calculate the number of days. Can I say July? It is 31 days. August 31 days. September 30. October 31. And November how many days? 31 days. Calculate the number of days total. Come on, tell me. It is 154 days if I'm not wrong. Right? So for 154 days, you are getting double accommodation. But this is due to your transfer. So what they are saying, out of this 154 days, first 90 days, compute the salary for this 90 days. Hello? Whatever salary which becomes due in this 90 days. Based on the salary of these 90 days, calculate the value of Chennai accommodation and calculate the value of Mumbai accommodation. Whichever is lower, that will be taxable for you. Got it? But both the values will be calculated based on these 90 days salary. Whatever salary which becomes due in this 90 days, based on that salary, Chennai value will be calculated. Based on that 90 days salary, Mumbai value will be calculated. Now check which value is lower. That value will be taxable for first 90 days. Got it? Now how many days extra? Can I say excess days are 64 days? Excess 64 days are there. So based on the salary of these excess 64 days, whatever salary which becomes due for these 64 days. Okay. Now RFUA at Chennai. Chennai accommodation value for these 64 days. And furnished accommodation at concessional rent in Mumbai. That Mumbai accommodation value based on this 64 days salary. Both the values will be calculated. But to calculate both the values, the salary for these 64 days will be taken. Except 5 things. Yes or no? Calculate both the values. Add both the values. And entire will be taxable. Understood? Easy or difficult? Easy, no? Very easy. Okay. Come on. Next one. Next one. If employer has given accommodation to the employee where at project site, dam site, mining site, onshore or offshore oil exploration site, etc. Why would he give you this accommodation? Come on, tell me. You are an employee who is deployed for that project. Now just imagine your usual place of work is Chennai, okay? But one very big project of the company is going on 400 kilometers away from Chennai. And on that project, you are a supervisor or you are an employee working for that project. Getting my point? Now, will you work from home or you'll have to go for that project? You'll have to go actually be present on that project. No, a big dam is getting constructed, a big highway is getting constructed. Yes or no? Or onshore or offshore oil exploration site is there, some mining site is there. So you are to be employed at that place and your stay would be no, the stay would not be permanent stay, but it would be a temporary stay. For example, a month or so, 2 months or so. Sometimes you have to stay there till the time the project is not completed. 4 5 months, a year also sometimes. Getting my point? So till the time you are deputed at that site, it is your employer's responsibility to provide you food, accommodation, etc. at those places. And he is fulfilling his responsibility by giving you an accommodation over there. He can give you RFU also there. He can give you any type of furnished accommodation also, unfurnished accommodation also. He can also keep you in a hotel over there also. Yes or no? Or one accommodation he has already given you in Chennai, another accommodation is giving there, double accommodation can also there. So whatever valuation rules we have seen above, none of the valuation rule will be applicable for this accommodation as the value of this accommodation is fully exempt. Because this accommodation is not given to you to give you any personal benefit. This accommodation is given to you because the employer is fulfilling his responsibility. Fulfilling the responsibility to keep my employee in a safe place, in a safe accommodation, does not mean providing personal benefit to the employee. Getting my point? So here whatever accommodation is given at such places, the benefit value will be fully exempt. That is, taxable value of perquisite here will be nil. That means on this accommodation, the above valuation rules which we have applied, no, those valuation rules are not applicable. Please don't calculate the value of this accommodation because the value of this accommodation is fully exempt. Because in our case, in our understanding, this is not a personal benefit which the employer wants to provide you. So if this is not a personal benefit, he is just fulfilling his responsibility. Why to bloody calculate the value also and why to charge it taxable for you? Yes or no? Understood? Will you remember this much? Accommodation facility done. You know how many perquisites you are supposed to do? 22 perquisites. Out of that, you have finished only one. Accommodation. Just imagine how big this is. But logical, understandable, and manageable also. Because there are too many things. No, big perquisites, no, we'll finish first. Then whatever small perquisites will be there, no, will not take much time to finish them. Big perquisites will finish first. So accommodation done. Now whatever we have understood now from this accommodation perquisite, how it will be asked in the question and how we are supposed to apply our understanding in that question and derive the value. Getting my point? That we are going to learn now. So let's come to the questions. Okay. Come to question number 14, illustration number 14. Mr. C is a finance manager in ABC Limited, meaning that he is not a government employee, non-government employee. The company has provided him with a rent-free unfurnished accommodation in Mumbai. Okay. In Mumbai, the company is giving accommodation. No rent is charged and unfurnished. Rent-free unfurnished accommodation. So what will be there? Only we will calculate the value of accommodation. No need to calculate the value of furniture. No need to reduce any amount of rent. Whatever value we will calculate, that value itself will be taxable value. Yes or no? But wait, is the accommodation taken on rent by the employer? Are they telling you that employer is paying this much rent, taking the accommodation on rent and giving that accommodation to you? Meaning that this accommodation must be owned by the employer. If the accommodation is owned by the employer in a place where the population is more than 40 lakhs, can I say Mumbai will definitely have a population of more than 40 lakhs as it is a metro city? See, in case of other cities, no, for which population cannot be known by a normal person. How would I know that what is the population of Udaipur? Will I know? How would I know what will be the population of Madurai? Because these are not metro cities. Yes or no? Their population can be more than 15 lakhs, but up to 40 lakhs. Or their population can be less than or equal to 15 lakhs also. So they will definitely give me the population for those type of cities. But when it comes to what? Metro cities, no, they will deliberately not tell you that how much was the population. Because as a CA student, you should be having such small amount of, common sense, no? That since this is a metro city, it will definitely have a population of more than 40 lakhs. Or sometimes, see, if other cities also said no, still they will not give you what? Population. Why? Because in that city, employer was not giving own accommodation. He was taking an accommodation on rent and he was giving. So there we don't have to see the population also. Getting my point? So if you would require the details of the population, no, they will definitely give you the population details. Otherwise, it will not be given. Understanding? So tell me. Now basic salary he is drawing 8,500. Dearness allowance 2,000 per month. Out of it 30% is for retirement benefits. The DA which is used for retirement benefits is DA which forms part of salary as per salary contract. Yes or no? That is DA in terms. Next one. Bonus is given 1,500 per month. Even though the company allotted the house to him on 1st April 2024, he occupied the same only from 1st November 24. Meaning that since when he will start getting the benefit? Since the time when he occupies or since the time the accommodation was allotted on his name? Occupied. Company can allot at any time, no? So after company is allotting, am I going and staying there? Am I occupying? No. So if I'm not occupying company's accommodation, I'm not taking any benefit from the company. I'll take the benefit from the company only after I occupy, no? So I will always count the number of months for which the accommodation was occupied and not the number of months for which it was allotted. Yes or no? So it was occupied from 1st November till 31st March. How many months? 5 months, no? 5 months the accommodation is occupied. So whatever salary which will become due for these 5 months, starting from November to March, that salary I have to take, except 5 things if you have to if you remember. Yes or no? Now pay attention. What they are telling you? They are telling you to calculate the taxable value of perquisite for assessment year 25-26. Very simple. To calculate taxable value, I know that since the rent free, what did I say? Rent free unfurnished accommodation is provided in Mumbai. So can I say this accommodation in Mumbai was owned by employer? And if it is in Mumbai, can I say Mumbai has, as per 2011 census, Mumbai has a population of greater than 40 lakhs. So the accommodation which was given, owned by the employer and given in a place where the population is more than 40 lakhs, for this accommodation, how much is the taxable value? Come on, tell me. 10% of salary. Now I know that I have to calculate this amount because this amount is a taxable amount. First of all, identifying this amount is very important. Huh? And then the calculation of this amount becomes more important. Sometimes people identify wrong, mistake done. Even though the calculations are correct, no marks because identification is wrong only. Sometimes identification is correct, but the calculation becomes wrong. Then also 0 marks for this. Both the things should be happening correctly. Identify what amount should be taxable and then calculate that amount correctly. What amount should be taxable? 10%. Identification done correctly. Now tell me how to calculate this amount. I will have to take the salary which becomes due for the period for which the accommodation was occupied. And that salary will include everything except 5 things. Can I include basic salary? The answer is yes, I will include basic. Can I include DA? Yes, but I cannot include the entire DA. I will have to include only 30% DA because that is in terms DA. Yes or no? So I will include 2000. No. 30% of 2000 is 600 per month. Can I include bonus? Tell me yes or no. Yes, bonus is to be included. Nowhere it is mentioned that don't include bonus. So include bonus. See, even though you cannot say that, see, bonus becoming due in this period. Sometimes the bonus can be for earlier period also. Yes or no? Forget about that. Since the bonus is taxable on what basis? Receipt basis. So if that bonus is received in the period in which the accommodation was occupied, it will be assumed as if it is becoming due in that period only. Getting my point? Sure. Next one. So what will be there? 8,500 on your calculators, please. 8,500 plus 600 plus 1,500. These three amounts are 10,600. So can I say my salary per month is 10,600? And now 10,600 I have to take for 5 months. That is for the period for which the accommodation was occupied. For those 5 months, I'm getting how much basic? 8,500. For those 5 months, I'm getting how much DA in terms? 600 per month. For those 5 months, I'm getting how much bonus? 1,500 per month. So instead of doing everything into 5, I will take the total and I will do into 5 once only, no? Hello? So 10,600. This is 10,600 into 5 months. Into 5 will give me 53,000. Did you all get this? 53,000. So now 53,000 is what salary? 53,000 is salary for those 5 months for which the accommodation was occupied. So salary is 53,000. 10% of that will be how much? 5,300. This is the taxable amount. How did you get 6075? Did you understand your mistake? Sure. This should be 5,300. Please check the answer. 5,300. Got it? Now read. The note is important. Please read. Read this note. Important. They are saying even though the accommodation was allotted with effect from 1st April. Okay. So you have old study mat. Ayyo. So download a new one from the ICA website. Don't refer that old study mat. Okay, no? Yes. Because the law is also changed. There are many changes which are there in the new study mat. Getting my point? Okay. Wait. See, did you get this 5,300? And why for 5 months you have calculated salary? The logic is given in this note. Okay. Now, in the same example which is given above, 14th example, 14th illustration, they are saying that using the data given in the previous illustration, compute the value of the perquisite if Mr. C is required to pay a rent of 1000 per month. Ayo. Same accommodation, if rent free given, how much is the taxable value? 5,300. But for that same accommodation, if the employer is charging 1000 rupees rent per month, so 1000 into 5, 5000 rent is recovered? No. So benefit given how much? 5,300. Out of that, how much benefit taken away? 5,000 in the form of rent the employer is taking away. So how much balance? Come on, tell me. 300. That 300 will be the taxable value in this case. Hello, sir. Check the answer. 300 is the taxable value. Did you get it? So first calculate the value of the accommodation. If rent is not charged, then this value is taxable. But if for this accommodation rent is charged, reduce the amount of rent, no? So this was the value for 5 months. So rent for 5 months will be reduced. 5 months for which the accommodation was occupied. For that 5 months only I will give 1000 rupees, no? Understanding? Should I move ahead? Now they are saying that using the data given in illustration number 14. Illustration number 14. Compute the value of perquisite if ABC Limited has taken this accommodation on lease rent of 1025 per month and Mr. C is required to pay a rent of 1000 per month to the company for the use of this accommodation. Now wait. Now the accommodation provided in Mumbai does not belong to employer. It is taken on rent by the employer. And how much rent the employer is paying for that accommodation? 1025 per month. So now 10% of the salary will be calculated, which will be 5,300 only. Hello. Now you don't have to see the population of the city. Just take 10% of the salary. And that will definitely come 5,300 only, no? And now compare this amount with actual rent for 5 months paid by the employer. Whichever is lower, that will become your benefit. So can I say here the value of the accommodation will be 10% of salary? So 10% of the salary in the above illustration was how much? 5,300 only, no? Or actual rent paid by the employer, and that is 1025 into 5 will give you 5125. Now whichever is lower, this lower amount is 5125, this value will be taxable. But wait, if the rent is not taken by the employer, then this value will be taxable. But they are giving in the question that for this accommodation the employer was charging 1000 rupees per month. So what you will do? Will you charge this entire amount, or 5000 recovered will be reduced? Will be reduced, no? So reduce that 5000 out of here. You will get 125. 125 rupees taxable. Please check the final answer. 125. Can you see? Everyone, easy or difficult? Easy, no? Now the same thing. See, illustration number 17. They are saying that if ABC Limited has provided television whose WDV is 10,000, cost is 25,000. Forget about the WDV. If you will take WDV, you are gone. We are supposed to take 10% of the actual cost of the furniture. Yes or no? So television is given. Actual cost of that television I have to see. Next one, and 2 air conditioners 2 air conditioners. The rent paid by the company for the air conditioner is 400 per month each. Wow. Television was provided on 1st January 2025. However, Mr. C is required to pay a rent of 1000 per month to the company for the use of this furnished accommodation. Not for the furniture, but for the furnished accommodation. So simple, no? What they're telling you? Let's see. Accommodation which was given in which example they are telling in the illustration number 14. So from 14, accommodation was RFUA. That accommodation remains same. But along with that, furniture is given. TV and ACs are also given. So now value you have already calculated for the accommodation in illustration number 14. That value only you are supposed to take. But along with that, you are supposed to add the value of the furniture, meaning the television as well as the AC also. No, for television, the value will be 10% of the actual cost because it was owned by the employer and given to you. 10% of the actual cost. And how much is the actual cost? 25,000. So can I say here that the value of accommodation is how much? 5,300. That we have already calculated. What is that? 10% of salary. Now in that I will have to add value of furniture which is owned by employer. And what was the furniture owned by the employer? TV, no? TV. So 10% per annum of actual cost, which is 25,000. But if you will calculate this, this will be the full year's value. Are you supposed to tax full year's value? Or only the value for those many months for which you are actually using the TV? Actually using, no? So you are using the TV from 1st of January. So this value will be into 3 upon 12. Because this value will be for the entire year. Divide by 12, multiplied 5. Those 3 months for which the TV was given. So this value is 10% into 3 divided by 12 will be 625, no? 625. Sure. Now that furniture which was taken on hire by employer. Is there any such furniture? Yes, sir. There are 2 ACs. And for one AC, 400 per month is given. So for 2 ACs, how much will be given? 800. And such AC will be used for that period only, no, for which you are occupying the accommodation. If nothing is said, accommodation is occupied for 5 months. So for 5 months only in that accommodation, you are going to use these ACs, no? So for ACs, please don't calculate 12 months figure. For ACs also, it will be 5 months. Okay. So into 5. Tell me. 800 into 5 will be 4,000. Now 4,000 plus 5,300 plus 625 will be 9925. This is the total value of rent-free furnished accommodation. If for this furnished accommodation nothing was charged, this will be taxable for you. But the question is saying that for this furnished accommodation, the employer is charging how much? 1,000 rupees per month. So 1,000 per month into 5. This is the amount recovered, 5,000 that you reduce. So you will get 4925. This is the taxable value. Under the salary statement, you are supposed to show 4925. Got it? Will you be able to solve the questions like this now? All the questions, all the possibilities you have covered. Done, friends? Easy, no? So now if the accommodation facility comes in the question, no, calculation has to be done like this. First identify correctly, calculate like this, and whatever value you have calculated, you show this value taxable under the salary statement. But wait, this value you will be able to calculate only after finishing the entire salary question. Because to calculate this value, except 5 things, all the salary has to be taken. So always calculate this value in the end of this question. Yes or no? End of the salary question. Will you remember this? Sure, everyone? Should I move ahead? Very good. Now we are through with two clauses. 17 subsection 2. Clause 1 also done. Clause 2 also done. Now I am coming to clause 3. See your clause 3 now. It is saying that value of prescribed benefits. So value of certain prescribed benefits will be taxable in your hands. But clause 3 says this value will be taxable. This value will be taxable only for specified employees. Okay. So now first we have to learn that who is a specified employee. So sir, specified employee. Number 1. Are you an employee in a company? In a company, I said. Employee of any person? No. Employee of a company. Plus, you are also a director in that company. Then you are a specified employee. So a director employee of a company. An employee who is the employee in the company, but he happens to be the director also of that company. Then that director employee is a specified employee. Yes or no? Now next. Second. Again they are saying that you are the employee in a company. But this time you are not the director in a company. You are a shareholder in the company owning 20% or more shares of that company. Beneficial ownership of shares 20% or more. So now a shareholder employee of a company having 20% or more, beneficial ownership of the shares. Even this shareholder employee will be treated as specified employee. Now third, any employee. What did I say? Any employee. Now your employer can be a company, your employer can be a partnership firm, your employer can be a AOPBI, your employer can be any employer. That means you are any employee. Even the employee of company, other employees of the companies are also covered. Yes or no? You are any employee, but your net cash salary during the previous year from all the employers. That means during the previous year, if you are having one employer, then salary from that employer. During the previous year, if you are having multiple employers, so take the salary coming from all the employers. Yes or no? So during the previous year, salary from all the employers. Which salary? Net cash salary from all the employers during the previous year should be greater than rupees 50,000. This 50,000 is not per month salary, friends. This is the salary for the entire year. That whatever cash salary you are receiving for the entire year from all your employers, if the amount of that yearly annual salary, net cash salary happens to be more than 50,000, then also you are a specified employee. By saying this, no, they have covered almost every employee. Just show me one employee who is not earning this much. Even a small peon in a organization, his cash salary, monthly cash salary is 10,000, 15,000. Hello? A housemaid, even my housemaid, she earns 10,000 from my house only. Just imagine for the full year how much she is earning. From my house only she is earning 1,20,000. Other places also she is going. Even a small maid, she is my employee only. Even she is covered here. Getting my point? So basically they want to cover everyone. But they are not directly covering. They are not saying that all them. No, 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 no. The last one limit only they are keeping so less, no, that almost every employee will be covered here. But the employees who are not earning more than 50,000, they are earning 50,000 or less in a year. Definitely they are not going to get such kind of benefits for which I am talking right now. Clause 3 benefits are usually not given to all the employees. They are given to those employees who are influential, who can influence the company to give them such kind of benefits, who can force the company to give them such kind of benefit. Give me motor car, otherwise I will leave. Motor car facility. Give me servants at home, domestic servant facility. Give me gas, water and electricity connection at my home. My children are studying. Pay the expenses of my children's education. Give me the educational facility for my children or even for my household members. Oh, you are a transport company. I am your employee. Give me free tickets. Give me concessional tickets for myself and for my family. You can very well say this to your employer and take the benefit. Which type of employees can say? Director can say. A shareholder having 20% or more ownership in the company, he can say, he can ask for these kind of benefits. Or all those employees whose net cash salary during the year is more than 50,000. Anyone can say no, whose net cash salary is more than 50. But just imagine about those employees whose salary is 50,000 or less. Net cash salary is 50,000. Are they going to get such kind of benefits from the company? No. So they are not covered. They are non-specified. So even if they are getting such kind of benefits from the company, no. Hello. These benefits will not be offered as a personal benefit to them. It will be offered to them in the nature of help, etc. Getting my point? So for those non-specified employees who are not earning 50,000, more than 50,000, they are earning 50,000 or less. For them, these benefits, they can just, sleep and imagine these kind of benefits in their dreams. And if at all they are getting such kind of benefits, they will not be provided to them in the form of what? Personal benefit. They will be provided in the form of some help, etc. So for them, these perquisites should not be taxable. Leave them. Got it, everyone? Sure, everyone? So now tell me, did you understand who is a specified employee? But wait, when you will be determining the net cash salary, no? At the time of determining this net cash salary, always ignore value of non-monetary benefits. Never take non-monetary benefits to calculate net cash salary, because non-monetary benefits are what? They are some values calculated and shown as your salary income. They are not something, these values are not your cash income coming in your hands. Getting my point? For example, accommodation facility is given. So we calculated the value of accommodation facility. It is 2 lakh rupees. But is this 2 lakh coming in your hands to spend? No. This is merely an imaginary value. We are talking about the money which is coming in your hands in the form of cash salary. So definitely that is not going to include the value of these benefits. Don't include the non-monetary benefits to calculate this net cash salary. Getting my point? Next one, exempt portion of allowances. That exempt portion of allowances also don't take. But they are not telling you not to take taxable portion of allowance. Take taxable portion, which is shown as your salary. But the exempt portion of allowance, you will not take. Next one, take the deductions under section 16 while calculating your net cash salary. Because we are not saying gross cash salary, we are saying net cash salary. And net cash salary will be calculated only after taking these deductions. And deductions will be available only if you are, hello, not following 115 BSc. But if you are following 115 BSc, then take only one deduction. Standard deduction, 75,000. Don't take the other two deductions. Getting my point, everyone? So assuming as if the employee is not covered by, assuming as if the employee has shifted out. So take all the cash benefits from the employer, ignore the non-monetary benefits, ignore the exempt portion of allowances, but take the taxable portion of allowances and reduce the deductions, all the three deductions, because you are shifting out of 115 BSc. But if you are not shifting out, then take only standard deduction, that too also 75,000. Calculation will remain same, but only one standard deduction you are supposed to consider to calculate what? This net cash salary. Everyone got it? Sure. Now, these specified employees, no, for them, certain benefits are prescribed. What did I say? Certain benefits are prescribed. Number one, motor car facility. Number one, motor car facility. Number two, domestic servant facility. Number three, gas, water and electricity facility. Then education facility. Then ticket facility. One, two, three, 4, 5. Will you remember these 5 names? These are the 5 benefits which are taxable as perquisites under the head salary in the hands of specified employees only. Okay. Now they are saying that, friends, the value of these benefits will be taxable. Value of these benefits will be taxable. How to determine this value, sir? 3-1, no, 3-1 already seen, 3-2, then 3-3, then 3-4, then 3-5, then 3-6. 3-1 is already used for accommodation. Now these perquisites, the valuation will happen as per these rules. So now what I will do, I will first go to 17 subsection 2 clause 3, which says that value of motor car facility, hello, which I will determine as per rule 3 sub-rule 2. This value of motor car facility will be taxable under the head income from salary. So this value which is to be taxable under the head salary, from where you will get this value? Rule 3 sub-rule 2. So now we'll discuss this rule. But if I'll start discussing this rule, it will take another 1 hour. This perquisite is also a big perquisite. Yes or no? So tomorrow we are going to start with this perquisite, this one, motor car facility. From here we'll start tomorrow. And tomorrow, whatever big perquisites are there, this motor car facility is there, one medical facility is there, leave travel assistance is there. Okay. All the big perquisites we are going to finish tomorrow itself with questions. Okay. Are you understanding what is happening in your life? Sure. Everything going inside or going above? Inside, no. Getting some confidence in taxation. You'll be able to crack the exam this time with good marks or not? Sure. Okay, don't let me down, huh? Don't let me down. What if you will tell me to sit with you till late in the night, I'll sit with you. If you have any doubts, any queries, I'm always there to solve all those doubts. But please make the necessary efforts, put the necessary efforts. I am telling you again and again, please solve these questions which I am solving here. Solve them again, but with a little bit good, presentation. You have everything in mind, but if you cannot put that on paper, it is of no use, no? So putting that thing on the paper, application of the subject in the question, application of the concept in the question is very important. And you will always get the comfort only if you practice maximum questions. Automatically the things will also be written in your mind. Sometimes, when I was a student, no, what I used to do, when I never understood a concept, no, when I did not used to understand a concept, I used to leave that concept. I used to pick up the questions on that concept. I used to solve the questions. While solving the questions only, no, I used to get a lot of clarity about that concept. Now that concept used to become interesting to me, and I was able to understand also, and it used to be written in my mind also. So if straight approach is not working, no, learn the concept, then apply, then solve the question, then apply the reverse approach. Solve the question. While solving, understand the concepts. It will be automatically learned also. Getting my point? So sometimes you have to follow some, different approach. Sure, practice will be done. 100%. Jai Hind. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.